Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Department of Athletics, welcome to Demorest, Georgia, here at the Walker Athletic Complex. Davis Barlow, Simon Johnstone here. CCS championship game set here, Simon. Big game in front of us. Weather, not so great, but we're still here.
Yeah, absolutely. The weather is a little bit up in the air in terms of whether or not it's going to rain, and the benefit is we are playing on turf, so the ball's going to be a little bit slippery, a little bit more skittish when it comes to keeping those shots on the ground and keeping those passes out of the air, but what an event to have, and what a special Saturday afternoon it's going to be for these two teams as we have the Piedmont University girls soccer team going up against the Maryville Scots.
Lady Lions come into this one as the overall #1 seed, but these teams split the regular season title. So, a little bit of a grudge match here. Last time these two teams played, Piedmont out on top 3-0 here. It was a surprising result, say the least. These teams normally play a little bit tighter than what we saw that day, so we're expecting a much tighter contest today. As we mentioned, weather here not so great. A little bit of threat of rain. It did rain earlier. Turf is extra slick, meaning some of those through balls going to carry as well. Players in danger of losing their footing, but we're so excited for this one. We appreciate everyone joining us here, and as you can see, the team's getting ready to get set for the international walkout. We'll head to the national anthem, and then we'll come back with starting lineups. But Simon, Piedmont into this one 12-5-2, Maryville 11-4-4, pretty much even across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. Two titans in the conference, and I think they're going to be, it's going to be a hard-fought battle that's going to go neck and neck all the way through to the 90th minute. Absolutely.
Timmy McCormack pretty much rolling with his usual starting lineup, and then we expect the same from the Scots. You can hear the thunderclappers off to the right. Piedmont Residential Life brought out some fun noise-making machines for this Piedmont crowd here. It's a good crowd on hand as well. I expect more to roll in as we officially get started here. But teams taking their international walkout, which means we're going to take a short break here, national anthem, and then we'll have starting lineups for you. You're listening to Piedmont College Athletics on YouTube. National anthem complete. Game time right around the corner here, but starting lineups being announced out on the pitch means we'll cover them here as well. And Simon, first for the visitors here, again, a roster we've seen play here, but didn't have much success last time they were here.
Absolutely, yeah. For the Scots, they're going to start off with goalie Lucy Sandoff, if I believe that is correct. Am I looking at the right thing? Sydney Marr. I don't have the right sheet, unfortunately.
Oh, we'll get that corrected here.
So you have goalkeeper Sydney Marr for the Scots, followed by number 7, Macy Lindsay, number 10, Taylor Martin, number 14, Sierra Lee, number 16, Haley Cart, number 19, Annabelle Proctor, number 20, Alex Smith, number 21, Delaney Muldoon, number 26, Hannah Smoot, number 28, Mary Bruno, and number 29, Avery Brown. And then looking over at the Piedmont Lady Lions,
This will be a pretty much standard lineup for Piedmont here. Haley Dornan in goal. The sophomore has spent almost the entire season back there. Number 3, Emma Williams getting the start today. That's a big one for head coach Timmy McCormack. She was with the double assist that generated the only goal here against Covenant the last time the Lady Lions played. She'll be up top. The defensive player of the year, number 5, Katie Hemperly, will be at the center defensive mid position. Number 10, Anya Olsen, the California native, up top as usual. Number 16, Alyssa Lotter, going to start at the back. She was the hero against Covenant, the one to cap off the opportunity there, the lone goal scorer. She'll be at the back to start. She'll move up top as the game progresses. Number 18, Christina Sierra, who had a fantastic semifinals man-marking a player from Covenant, is getting the start today in a true midfield position. Number 24, Haley Teig, also on the defensive end for Piedmont. Number 28, Marissa Tagan on that back line. And then 32, Abby Judge, Captain Judge at the back. She had the assist against Covenant. Number 33, a real highlight this year for Piedmont, the freshman Sierra Judson, usual starter here. She'll be at the back to begin with as well. And rounding out that back line for Piedmont, number 71, Katie Brown. Piedmont, led by head coach Timmy McCormack in his 6th season. Maryville, led by Coach Pep, as many know him there, 27 seasons in, Simon. I mean, that is a veteran of the game.
Absolutely. With that many seasons under your belt, you obviously have a handle on game plans. You have a handle on the opponents you have to deal with, and especially when it comes to just dealing with any adversity. Like we said earlier, the turf is going to be a little bit more slippery, something that I'm sure they're used to and accustomed to, so I don't think it's going to trip them up all that much. They obviously had a long, lengthy warm-up session where they're able to get a little bit more comfortable with this pace of the pitch. That is something that they're going to have to definitely adjust to if they were expecting some dry turf. Now, I will say that the Maryville Scots, you mentioned a little bit earlier when we were talking before we started our broadcast, that they have a very intense midfield, and so I think one of the things Piedmont's going to have to focus on is establishing themselves and not letting Maryville kind of make their mark and make sure that they say, hey, this is our midfield too as much as it is yours. I want to show that we can control it as much as you.
We'll see what the game plan is for Piedmont if they do just that. One quick correction. Pep is actually in his 32nd season, not his 27th, so 5 years short. They make him feel a little bit younger there. Fleet of assistants for Maryville. Cameron Earls, Piedmont legend over there back today. John LaCava, John Taylor, Joe Pinkston, Jameson Elmore, and Macy Fox are all of the assistants there. And then Piedmont today rocking with just 2 volunteer assistant Miranda McNally and assistant Stephanie Lamb. A couple alumni on the bench as well for Piedmont there, giving their support. But again, packed crowd, everyone ready to rock and roll. Piedmont going to be in its standard green, got a little bit of gold as well, trim, and then Maryville here. Not a big fan of their uniform personally. All gray with some maroon stripes on the front and maroon numbers on the back. We'll do our best to keep track of those ladies, but Simon, if they don't have their backs to it, it's going to be a little bit difficult to see some numbers.
It looks almost like a barcode from the front. Going to be hard to see those numbers as they do exactly match the stripes, if I'm not mistaken, especially from this distance. But yeah, it does look like they're setting up in a 4-4-2 just based off how Maryville is looking before kickoff. It's going to be interesting what Piedmont does to counter that, or if they want to bring their own personal pressure. You also mentioned that Maryville isn't the most initial attacking team. They already thought about pressing up forward for the second half. Expecting themselves to be down is something that could very well happen, as Piedmont is very strong at getting on the right foot early.
So here we go here. Clock looks like it's ready. Ref gives the wave. We'll hear a whistle, and the first ever CCS Women's Soccer Championship is underway. Again, Piedmont 3-0 over Maryville last time the Scots were here. Scots going to want to change that result. And on the flip side, if you're Piedmont, you want to do this again because, Simon, as much as you want to win a CCS championship, you still have the NCAA regionals after this. And Piedmont, good strength of schedule, good win percentage clearly by their 12-5-2 record. I mean, this is a big game for the Lions, win or lose.
Absolutely. I mean, you want to get into that postseason. You want to get as deep as possible. And I think with such a strong regular season, as you mentioned, the strength of their schedule is so strong that they will make a good case whether or not win or lose. But of course, you don't want to lose, especially when you have such a great advantage of being at home, which I think is a very underrated thing when it comes to soccer, is the power of these fans. And especially, the Thunderclappers, as you mentioned, is something that I think is going to pay a strong advantage toward the Lady Lions for today's matchup.
And it's already loud enough to begin here. We'd like to remind you folks, we have the same view as you from the camera. We're sitting directly behind it over here in the press booth. So again, if we struggle with numbers or anything, we're just looking at the same thing you are. Down the left wing we go for the first real action of the game here. Beaten for pieces Judson, but Himperly just removes the forward off ball there. She'll play it out the side. Good job there, and it'll be a deep throw in for the Scots.
Definitely just the feeling out period so far in the beginning. I think everyone's trying to figure out where the advantages are, where the disadvantages are. Obviously, they have played each other and met up in the past, but obviously there's going to be some lineup changes. There's going to be some strategy changes as a cross comes a little bit too tight to the keeper, and a strong save there for her first one of the game.
Fantastic baseball throw out here to Christina Sierra. Again, getting more of a true left mid position today versus the man mark that we saw here against Covenant. Lady Lions dominant against Covenant. That was credited a shot, which is good for the Scots because it took Covenant 55 minutes to find their first shot. Not even shot on goal, just shot in general. They went to half with 0 shots and nearly 0 time of possession in the offensive third. Maryville already on a different beat here as Judson wanted to force the forward in, does just that, and we'll come away with possession here. It's Olsen on the counterattack for Piedmont, has Sierra to her left. Instead, we'll go right to Captain Judge. This through ball does sneak through just a little bit, but the back able to recover. That back line for Maryville today, lining up right back Alex Smith. I believe that's Taylor Martin, one of 2 center backs. The other center back going to be Mary Bruno. And then difficult to see the winger from here. This Judge will play this one out, and it'll be a throw-in for Maryville deep in their own half. Again, this is where the numbers, Simon, kind of become an issue here is the left back now taking the throw-in.
Absolutely. And one thing I wanted to point out on that very strong counterattack opportunity that the Lady Lions just had is they seem to be letting that Maryville defense sit a little bit further back as they look for a counter here. Strong 50-50, just not going the way. And that's going to be picked up by Mar as she slows down and stops that initial chance for the Lady Lions. But as I was saying, the Lady Lions seem to be content with letting Maryville kind of sit back a little bit, and then they want to build from the back and build with numbers, and I think there does look to be a slight disconnect between the defense and midfield, and I think that's something Piedmont really wants to capitalize here as they look to transition strong.
Lady Lions would love an early lead here. This is a good takeaway by Olsen. Wants to go down line. Now it's towards Emma Williams here. Williams into the box. Has no help in the box right now. Needs to stall for time, and she'll just win the corner here. First corner for Piedmont.
Smart play for sure. I think she was able to recognize that. I'm sure it's strong communication. These voices are yelling already, and that is something you love to see is just great communication. Speaks to their chemistry, speaks to their strategy as well. And as they look to take their first corner of the game, I got to be honest, I like the Lady Lions' height advantage in a lot of these matchups. They seem to be a little bit taller when it comes to standing in these box, but I will tell you what, Maryville is packing that box. All 10 outfield players are standing in that box near the 6-yard line, if that.
Maryville not wanting to concede. Sierra played it low, and there was no one on the receiving end of that one, so opportunity a miss there for the Lady Lions. That was a great observation. Maryville really sinking deep. You don't see that, especially this early in the game. I mean, we're in the 5th minute at this point, and all 10 back in the box there. And Simon, you are correct. Emma Williams, Abby Judge, Sierra Judson all bring some serious height to the pitch. So this one will be out off of Williams. It'll be a Scots throw in here. Back to the midfield. Bounced around. Neither team really able to settle this one. Finally, it's Judson with a chest touch here, but will lose possession. Good step from Himperly, and finally the defensive player of the year able to grab this one. Wants to go long out to Christina Sierra. This one curves way too far behind, and the right back will be able to usher this one out. Great play from Alex Smith, and she'll be rewarded with the throw-in.
Strong shielding there from Maryville. I do like the idea of them looking to switch the point of attack. I think that's something that Piedmont Lady Lions could definitely take advantage of as they play the ball forward. Does the Scots. She's in a definite numerical disadvantage as they play it down the line. Going to be caught up by the Piedmont Lions defense, and they look to transition early.
That was Avery Brown for the Scots down the line. Couldn't quite gather possession. Continue bounce around. Macy Lindsay couldn't grab it either. And now it's to the back line, back to Alex Smith. Rough challenge by Olsen, and that will draw the first whistle of this game. Ref going to tell Olsen to settle down a little bit. And again, we knew the first foul would eventually be drawn here. This game going to be extra physical. It's also a little bit more difficult to stop here today.
Absolutely, and I'll be honest, and I want to hear your opinion on this too. I like that we had the first foul. I think it's good that the Lady Lions took the initiative and decided to take that. I mean, obviously you don't want to get a yellow card or anything, but to set the tone and say, hey, we're going to come right at you, I think is a great idea to have.
I agree as well. Brown had her service blocked, and it's leaked all the way back up as Williams slipping and sliding through here. We'll find Christina Sierra with some space. Wants to chip it forward towards the captain. Can't quite get there. Now out wide toward Williams. It's quickly cut out, and good little fake there from Lindsay as she'll continue to work this one forward here. Lindsay to Lee. Back mid. Good step from Himperly, and finally taken away by Tig. Little chip pass to Himperly, who has all the time in the world, one on behind, but instead will go long, and the left back called into action once more. These backs going to have their hands full today. This is a good step from Lauder, again, at left back to start today, but she was at left wing when the goal came against Covenant. Now down line, foot race, Smith and Olsen into the corner, and great chase by Olsen will force Smith to just dump this one away.
And I'm liking the high pressure that the Lady Lions are beginning to put up as they bring their left back all the way up to have the throw-in, giving them more people in the box, more bodies to put the pressure on that defense, just give a visual problem for the Scots. And as she, goes for a little fake throw there.
Lauder wanted to go into the box. Instead, she'll go down line to Olsen. It's quickly knocked out. They'll whistle Olsen. A little bit too much contact there, and that will draw the foul here. Scots throw in now. Someone's unmarked, and it's just a free ball over to Proctor here. Now we're looking to rotate this one around. Over to Carton, out wide to the wing here. This is where Judson's going to have to be tall today. She's going to be left on an island out there for most of today. Good little 1-2 action here, but Himperly's got the pace to make up for that one, and she'll play it right back towards that Piedmont bench area.
Strong defensive effort to recover. That rotate and that switch of attack was very wide open, something that is going to raise a couple eyebrows. But I do like the ability to recover and come back as the Scots look to press, and it's going to be blocked out of bounds, I believe, setting up a corner kick, the first one for the Scots.
Dangerous opportunity for the Scots here. First one of the day. We'll see how many they choose to put forward. Again, they dropped everyone back when defending here. It looks like they will hold 3 high. They're wary of Judge, who's getting instruction from Timmy McCormick here. Long right-footed service in towards the keeper. Handled well by Dornan, and that was a fantastic job by the sophomore keeper there to make sure she reaches out and grabs that one. So as Dornan slows the pace, there was definitely a change in idea just made. Judge just now returning to her position up top. I thought Judge would start at the back, but she is up top here. That's an errant touch, and now Judge might have a chance to get on the end of this one. Judge one touch. Judge stepped through. Judge pushed from behind, and wow, they'll rule it clean. Piedmont crowd not going to like that.
No, the home crowd is dismayed at that non-call, and
wow.
I think they do have a right to be. It looked like there was some contact, not making a play on the ball, but the Lady Lions are still so persistent as they keep the pressure up. Through ball going to be a little bit errant as Mar is going to pick that up and try to switch the attack for the Scots.
Just a little mistimed run there. Good idea nonetheless, but good opportunity by Piedmont. Goes awry here. Mar, long switch of the field. Olsen, no first touch, and it'll be headed forward by Smoot. And now a struggle for this ball, and they'll whistle Smoot for the push in the back there. So Piedmont, free kick just inside. You would assume this will be Himperly or Brown. Brown could potentially place in the box. Himperly's going to play it quickly. She went low and short, and that is a mishit here. Big turnover as Brown now doesn't have numbers, but has the pace coming forward, and Christina Sierra will slow her down just enough. Tegan will step off the back line now as Piedmont defense needs to reset here. Can't panic and give away one early. Down line, left-footed service in towards Brown. She'll head it right back where it came from, but it's only to a Scott. Long pull coming through, but Himperly will cut out the shot. She'll find the clearance as well as leak this one out all the way to Judge, but unhandled, and Maryville continuing to press the issue.
Yeah, and the thing that I'm noticing about how the Lions are lining up as another great interception occurs is they are really good at dropping their midfielders back and kind of leaving their forwards up to keep the pressure on the defensive line. But it is a very strong effort for them to be so committed to that defensive structure and making sure that they can provide and set up a counterattack when the Scots overstep.
This back four for Piedmont, some of the best in the conference here. That's a little chip shot. Dornan will be out to grab it. It was off to the right either way, but creativity nonetheless. And speaking of best here, Piedmont, 7 different Lady Lions honored with all conference honors. Of course, Katie Himperly leading that charge as the CCS Defensive Player of the Year. So that's a rough challenge on Tegan. She'll go down there, but plenty of other first-team honors to go around, second-team honors as well for Piedmont, so a star-studded group nonetheless.
Approach with the through ball. Doesn't seem to find any Lady Lion feet or Scots for that matter, and that is going to be picked up once again by Mar, looking to set up themselves. And Mar's going to slow it down, hold in the box, let the defensive line press up. Going to go for a punt here. Look to put the pressure on early. It's going to be a joust in the midfield. No head is found, but there is another header from the defensive Lady Lions once again. Ball going to go just out for the Scots, and Lady Lions will be back in possession for a throw-in.
That was Judson right on cue. Judson, of course, one of the all-CCS first-team defenders there. She was joined by Abby Judge, who's up top today. Again, Judge doing a little bit of everything, playing the true forward position today. Himperly, midfielder for the first team there. She did win the All-Defensive Player Award. Kaylee King, who did not start today. She'll be coming off the bench. She is healthy. Just did not get the start today. She will be coming off the bench. She was first team all-forward. And then Katie Brown, Alyssa Lauder, both second-team defenders. So the entire back line for Piedmont honored. And then Haley Dornan, the second-team keeper. So this one's given away all the way back up the pitch to Bruno. Quick volley of passes now gets to Smith. This is a dangerous situation here because you've left Sierra Lee some room to work with. She'll go out wide. Lauder going to win the battle here this time. Lauder's going to have a good day at this left back position, though. She just got beat for peace here. Good recovery. Back to Lee in the middle. Long pass back out to Lindsay. Now back to Lee. And Lee will pull that. That never had a chance as it'll be saved easily by Dornan there. But another look for Maryville, which is a positive.
Yeah, Maryville has been putting on the pressure early. I believe the statistics will back it up that they've definitely had the majority of shots and are putting on, like we mentioned before the game started, they are going to be pressing up a little bit higher, maybe disconnect those midfielders slightly from the defense, but it seems to be paying dividends as that back line of the Lady Lions has been tested time and time again. And while they have held strong, you have to wonder whether or not they may just break early on.
Pace of this game moving quickly. Not too sure how deep that Maryville bench is. We know that head coach Timmy McCormick on the Lions side will turn to his bench often, and he has a plethora of players. I believe near 40 different Lady Lions have seen action this year, and generally it's north of 20 per game that do see playing time here as Judge is fouled from behind here. Judge getting beaten up early.
Absolutely, but what an incredible thing for McCormack is to have such great bench depth, and that speaks to his resume, it speaks to his ability to coach, his technical prowess, and especially his ability to recruit players. You mentioned also how he has such a low transfer rate with such a high roster. That is so incredible and so impressive to have, and I think that just speaks also to their chemistry as a team, and it speaks to how strong they will be and how deep they will be. So if it comes down to a stamina battle, I like the Lady Lions' opportunities and chances here.
I do as well. Just have to capitalize on them here. Looking at the current lineup for Timmy McCormick here. I mean, you have 4 of your 11 players are from the state of Georgia. Of course, Piedmont located in the foothills of the mountains of North Georgia. Here, you only have 4 players on the pitch right now that are from the state of Georgia. You have multiple players from Florida. You have Anya Olson from California. Your center backs are from Texas. I mean, you recruit extremely well in order to bring this kind of talent to the South.
For sure. It is incredible as the Lady Lions get on a new counterattack. Judge looking to get... Is she offsides?
Oh, she is.
Just offsides, but what a great opportunity. Already making those deep runs in, and I like how she was lining herself up. If she was just a half step back, could have been a very interesting situation for the Lady Lions to get their front foot out.
And we were at the perfect angle to see that offsides as well. Unfortunate break there for Abby Judge. Did so good to sneak in behind there. Just couldn't quite make it work. So, off the free kick. Long ball out. Oh, that is a boot and a half from Katie Himperly that I believe Lee caught right in the chest. Glad to see she's okay. Himperly now went for another big clearance and is bumped off, but Olsen will be able to possess it in the mid. Anya Olsen being harassed. They'll turn to go back here to Judson, and we'll play it all the way back to Haley Dornan here, who is probably welcoming the action, Simon. It was a pretty boring game for her back there against Covenant. Didn't touch the ball until the 38th minute.
That is incredible. And again, like you said, the strong defensive line with so many first-team CCS players, and even just their ability to fluctuate and rotate from front to back. It speaks also to their strong attacking ability as another 50 goes down. Slide tackle not to be called by the referee as the Scots look to transition and look to push it, I believe, down the left-hand side line. does Lee, and that does not look like Lee. Like we said, hard to see the numbers on the jerseys, but I don't think that's Lee.
No, it is not. Lee easy to pick out today. She's the only one with her sleeves rolled up, but again, we can't see that number, but it won't matter here because we know Emma Williams is coming the other way. Williams, good turn here, has help in the midfield. We'll go to Sierra, heavy first touch, and definitely not what she was looking for, as Sierra has a little bit of trouble stopping there. Loses her footing and crashes into the back. So now, from the back one more time, Marr, long boot forward here, pair of no touches, and still bounced around the midfield. No one able to gather control. Finally, Olsen will settle the chaos, and it's back to Himperly. Over to Katie Brown. Haven't called her name much today, which is a good thing as well. The less you hear the center backs, the better. This is now Himperly. She can get forward. Don't be confused. She scores a lot of goals here. Left it for Tig, out wide to Sierra once more. Sierra doesn't really have much help down line here. Going to be left in a one-on-one. We'll see what she can do against Brown. Or excuse me, against Smith here. Instead, we'll turn and go back to Lauder.
And one thing I'm picking up, I want to see if you acknowledge that as well, is how centrally focused Maryville looks to be, as the wideouts for Piedmont have been so open as that ball just hangs a little bit long for the Lady Lions.
Yeah, I would agree. Maryville definitely packing it in towards the middle. They don't feel threatened by Williams and Sierra, and be that full right or wrong, they are perfectly content to let the wings have some space here. But the first changes for Timmy McCormack coming here, and it's no surprise. Kaylee King in for Christina Sierra. That's an attempted super sub change there, and then a pretty standard change in the midfield. Abby Ryan in for Haley Tig. Ryan spent a lot of time in the center defensive mid position. Looks like she'll be held a little bit higher here today. But Kaylee King, the one that you wanted to see, and well, welcome to the pitch here, is King in a massive collision. Maryville will come out on top of that one, and now it's a breakaway here. Headed forward with some good pace. Proctor, cut off by Olsen. Now we'll have to turn back here. Proctor to Cart, now out wide. One of the backs for Maryville actually getting forward. Back to Cart. Cart, long pull, but no trouble. Haley Dornan save made. But again, I mean, this is a flip of the script from what we saw last time, Simon. I mean, Piedmont dominated the first half here, but I mean, they have, what, maybe one credited shot on the stat line?
I believe that is the case, and not to mention it was a 3-0 shutout for the Lady Lions when they faced against Maryville as well, which is so impressive. And Maryville does not seem content to sit back in today's matchup. They want to set the tone early. Long throw by King, going to go out to a Maryville Scott, which is going to be kicked out, and King's going to have a second opportunity to throw one in here.
Shout out to the mother who just knocked that ball away from hitting her baby. Fantastic reflexes right in front of us. Love to see that, and they'll make King back up to retake this throw. Piedmont actually not credited with a shot, so 0 in the shot category for Piedmont. There could have sworn they credited 1, but it might have been adjusted in the stat book. So, long throw in from King, finds Judge, and then it'll be blocked by Ryan on the clearance, and I believe they'll call a handball. They will on Ryan there. I think we'll take that there. Instead of hitting Abby Ryan in the face, she will go with the handball. Good choice there, and it'll be a free kick for Maryville, taken extremely quickly, cut out by Tegan.
King on the ball once again, trying to establish herself in the midfield. She did just come in. Going to be rotated back through. Oh, no, she's going to flip around, go back to King, who has been very busy in her couple minutes on the pitch. Goes for a through ball down the left-hand line. Just going to get beaten out, and Maryville looks to play it out of bounds, content with setting up for their defense here.
If you're Piedmont, you like that look because that was Bruno there, one of the two center backs that actually ends up out wide there contesting that ball. You really like that look if you're Piedmont. Williams will exit, and will be Maddie Paris, who has really come into form lately. She didn't see much playing time at all, but entering the Covenant game had scored 3 goals in the past 4 games. As it's a long throw in, Judge does get her head to it, but it will be off wide there. Should be the first recorded shot for Piedmont, but not on target.
Yeah, and it's good that Piedmont seem to be pressing up a little bit more, seem to be adding a little bit more pressure. Maryville has definitely been the more dominant team, at least in the beginning couple minutes, the first 20 or so, have the Scots been on the pressure, adding shots to their totals. Obviously nothing coming to fruition yet, and while no real chance has been generated by either side, I think it's just been such a heavily contested battle, and I think that may just continue through all 90 minutes of today's matchup.
Brown forward here, wanted to go down the line, but instead it'll be cut back mid. Good ball towards Lee, better contest, better takeaway, good 50. Himperly as well getting involved. Lauder challenge from behind, and it's a good scrap for this one. Lindsay Back to Smith, but quickly taken away by Judge. Now down line to King. King more pace than anyone on the pitch, and she will just go right around Smith if she's allowed. Big body as well, and it'll be a throw-in for Maryville here.
Talk about a show of physical dominance by King. Shoves that defender to the side. Obviously a soccer play. Referee not taking it as a foul. Maryville parents are clearly disappointed in that decision, but nonetheless, Maryville does keep possession for a throw-in as Piedmont Lady Lions regain possession, looking to rotate it through the middle. Another 50, heavily contested in the middle, has it been today as they rotate it to the back right side, does the Lady Lions.
Judson wants to switch. She'll find King. Heavy first touch. Wanted to chip it through to herself. Won't quite come off. This one let run by Himperly, and this will go back to Dornan here. Oh, no, good little fake, and it'll be Himperly out wide to Judson. Paris is on sides here, so is Judge. So is King. King on sides. One-on-one here. Settles. Shot. Fake. Oh, in the back, able to catch up. That is a fantastic job there by Smith. King should have had a look on frame.
And I want to shoot you a question really quick. Does King have a right dominant foot?
It is a left foot for King, so I am very surprised we did not see her pull it there. Maybe didn't like the first bounce. But yes, curious. King is left-footed, I believe.
That was such a strong opportunity for King. Didn't seem to want to pull the trigger there. Maybe looking for a second player for a backup to get a wide-open shot as she baited the defender out. Corner kick does come in,
bounced.
Punched out, put in.
Oh, what a save! Oh, what a saver block. Chaos in the box. Tegan got the shot, I believe, and Maryville continuing to hang on.
Looked like Mar punched out the first ball, followed by another defensive player clearing out the second opportunity by Tegan.
Tegan did not get all of that ball, and it allows a defender to get their foot in front. Downline to Paris, won't quite connect. Now it's back out towards Judson. Good settle. Judson wants to find King again. This one won't quite make it. Cut out by Bruno. Attempted head-on, does not quite come through, and once again it's to the back line of Judson. I'm not sure what changed here, but the momentum is completely flipped.
Absolutely, and I think one thing that may be a cause of that is it looks like they're almost playing King at a either central attacking mid or third forward for them, as she's been pressing up a lot higher. I believe she was playing midfield when she initially subbed in, but looks like they wanted to press her up, add a little bit more pressure with, as you said, one of the fastest players on the Lady Lions side, and she's already shown how much pressure she can add to that defensive back line of the Scots.
Himperly launched that one downfield for a Scots throw-in, and I would agree. I mean, the pace of King is enough to change the game here. Paris wants to get to Judge. She's on sides, but the ball is behind her. So now forward. Paris giving a good contest. Now it's out wide. Heavy first touch by the Scot, and it'll be forced to go to the left back once more. Wants to go mid to Lindsay, but she has no help. She'll pop it forward to Proctor here. Proctor does a good job to stay on ball here as Piedmont looking to sink back a little bit deeper. Judson will cut it out, and this is where you have to be careful because here we go again. Bruno challenged by King, and she'll win this one here. Good pace to cut that one off. Out off the Scots, throw in for the Lady Lions.
And I'm a huge fan of their counter-attacking ability, are the Lady Lions. As they get that ball, they take possession, immediately look forward, something that is strong as Judge goes down off a rough tackle from the Scots. They're going to set up themselves with a free kick. Once again, curious to see how many Scots drop back. It almost looks like
all of them.
All of them,
it is.
Once again, are dropping back. I quite frankly don't see this very often.
No, because there's no ability for a counterattack.
No, and not to mention the position of this. I can understand a corner kick for sure, but at the position of the free kick, it is a hard ball to run onto, first of all, and second of all, it's very likely to get punched out. So speaking to that inability to have a counterattack, it's almost like you're nullifying any opportunity you have.
Himperly off of that ball, found Judge, but it's headed away by a pair of Scots, and there's the punch out that you called for. No one able to get there. Instead, you just give Judson possession in the midfield, and again, it's a tactical idea here. I mean, they're not just all running back. So either Maryville feels that they don't have the ability, maybe an inability to defend free kicks, free pieces. I don't know. Either that or they're just not interested in counterattacking.
I almost want to speculate that due to their last result against these Lady Lions, their 3-0, where they seem to struggle with generating any offense, especially in the first half, I'm curious if they really just want to make sure that they don't fall into a deficit early, and so they want to establish themselves in a back line, build the confidence from the back up, and then be able to counterattack later on in the match.
Oh, this is dangerous here, but that is a fantastic cutout and a great job there by Katie Brown. That was Brown looking to really put that forward. There's Brown on Brown. So it will be a throw-in for the Scots, long down line. Challenged well by Lauder, who lost it in the corner, though. Brown around one. Brown into the box. Long service in front. Good grab by Haley Dornan there. Well played, and that will negate a Scots shooting opportunity.
Dornan is establishing herself early, presenting herself as not allowing any free bounce-back balls. She's holding on to everything that has come her way, be it low, high, or a cross. I've loved that she has stepped out and stepped up so far in this CCS championship final. Ball headed off of a Scott head, going to find the sideline. King going to have it initially. Will she throw it? Yes, she will. Down the sideline. Strong throw, looking to find Judge down the left-hand line. Not to be, going to find now. Oh, dear.
It was Abby Ryan in the mid. Now it's bounce back. Excuse me, that is Megan Zeldin-Rust. I thought that was Paris, but it is Megan Zeldin-Rust, who is the player to sub in there. Live stats coming through here. This is a long ball forward here. Judge with good pace, but the keeper out off her line will be able to grab that one. That's another, I mean, that's a whole different talking about there. Zeldin-Rust has not seen much action thus far this year yet. McCormack going to turn to her here.
And so far, she has shown out decently well. Going to turn once again, push from behind. They're not going to call the foul. Scots are going to take full-on advantage as the Lady Lions are protesting on the sideline. Once again, Scots pushing down, and there is going to be a call. Appears to be a push in the back by the by a Lady Line, and you can hear those Piedmont fans in protest at that call.
It was Olsen, who's already been whistled a couple times here. Ref is telling her exactly that. And I wouldn't be surprised if the next one to Olsen is a yellow there. That's her third foul this game. Olsen continuing to stall, standing a little bit closed out. Ref will ask her to move.
Scots, once again, not sending up a lot of players, which will allow for those Lady Lions to look for a counter.
Oh, this is a shot.
Ball in. Oh, my goodness. What a strong shot just over that crossbar. And Dornan will not need to worry too much about that ball as it sails over for a goal kick.
Pair of subs for both teams here. Savannah Jerome in for Olsen there, no surprise. And then Aria Solano in for Joanna Tismelis. And then on the flip side, I do believe it is Chloe Chase in for Annabelle Proctor. And Katie O'Brien in for Hannah Smoot. I do believe there will be a correction issue there. Aria Solano, I believe, is in for Marissa Tagan. We'll have to double check that there. As we turn to the benches here, just 17 minutes before we head to halftime. This is a takeaway for the Scots with a lot of green in front of them. Hemperly wanted to step, but she's going to have to sink back here eventually. Now out wide, Lauder one-on-one. Lauder will win it for now, out for a Scots throw-in.
And one thing I've noticed is that the Lady Lions seem to be building up from the back, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. They only have those two forwards, dropping King back a little bit as she's now come back to a defensive side, maybe in response to how high of a pressure the Scots have dealt. But nevertheless, King is going to be on the attack here, interrupted by Lee once again. Lee has been a stand-up performer for the Scots thus far, looking to rotate the attack to the left side. Errant touch by the Scots as the Lady Lions look to counter. And Scots keep possession after another joust. Going into the midfield does the Scots. Lee on the ball once again, surrounded by green jerseys, and that is going to head up front. Looking to get a touch through. Scots defense says no, and they're once again just battling for that ball. Scots going to head down the left sideline, cut it inside, potentially looking to switch, holding possession in the midfield, establishing themselves so strong, have they. Lady Lions, though, not to be deterred, setting themselves up. Lee, once again, on the ball, finding herself almost a ball magnet, does she? Left-footed shot, not to be blocked by a Lady Lion. Down the left-hand side, Scots' continued possession has been a strong couple seconds for those Scots. Good clear by the Lady Lions and looking to counter once again. I do wish I had the roster in front of me, but I'm going to do my best. Lady Lions keep it in play, down to King, looking to press down the sideline, through ball. No forward near enough to make a real counterattack. And Scots keep possession once again.
We do apologize for the camera moving, but rain has begun here at the Walker Athletic Complex, which means some of our equipment does have to be moved indoors. Now you can see the fans breaking out the umbrellas and the weather gear here as Lee, top box, will not find a shot. Hemperly stands tall once again. I believe a Scott touched that, and it will be out the side. That is an unfortunate touch there. But yes, rain beginning here. You can see some fans beginning to head up. We're trying to get the camera dried off as well so we can get everything back in order here. This is a throw-in down the right line. Headed well. Now back middle. Long ball cut out there by Sierra Judson, and now bounced around. This will just be played out errantly by the Scots. No player will get there to keep it in. Great job there. Continuing forward. Dangerous ball to Lee. Lee one-on-one. Katie Brown thought about shooting, and Brown will stand tall there, but Lee does a good job to keep that one from being boomed. Out into the difficult corner to see. It does go out the right side, and will be a throw-in for Lauder here that's taken away by the Scots. King can't find a touch to this one. Centered towards Lee. Back towards Chloe Shea. Shot pulled. Blocked by Judge, who is now at the back. We knew Judge would sink back eventually. We wait to see when Lauder will sneak up. Katie. Oh, Kaylee King beat the defender for peace, and they'll rule it out down the side. I will say that ball was not out down the side. Had a good view of that one. It was not over the touchline.
King making her argument against that AR, assistant referee, as we have a new substitution in for the Scots. Looks like number 7 is stepping out, who is Macy Lindsay, if I'm not mistaken.
Will be Madeline McCall in for her. Both of these teams turn to their bench, trying to get some of their starters a little bit of extra rest here, because we've got just 14 till halftime. Then we'll take a 15-minute break for halftime before the second half action here. If you're just joining us, still no scoreline here in Demorest, Georgia. We've played through 32. That's a big miss there. Zeldin Russ will be able to get on the end of it. Zeldin Russ with the Meg as well. Just continuing to go forward, and this should be a card as Zeldin Russ goes down extremely hard, and we'll see the first yellow of today's game.
And that was an aggressive, confident tackle.
Yeah, confident and aggressive.
Absolutely. That may just be the momentum boost that the Lady Lions are going to get. Hopefully Zeldin Crest is all right. She seems to be got up on her own 2 feet and seems to be pressing forward for that matter. Kaylee King going to be the one stepping back, it looks like, for the free kick. Whether or not she decides to put a shot on goal from about, almost 30 yards would be interesting, but Lady Lions are sending a good amount of players forward, hoping to open up the scoring line here.
It was Muldoon, the one there. Awarded the yellow for the aggressive tackle. King, left-footed, stands over this one. I'll be honest, I think she pulls this here.
I was just going to say, with her being a left-foot dominant player, it is very likely she goes for a shot here. I like her chance with how much power she has behind that left leg.
4-woman wall now in front here. King, chip, shot, bar just over. The opportunity doesn't come through. Yeah, fantastic shooting opportunity nonetheless.
And that seems to be, there's a little bit more life for these Lady Lions coming into the closing minutes of this first half, as the Scots, for the last 10 or so minutes, it seemed like, had the majority of the possession, had the majority of the ball in the defensive half of the Lady Lions. But seems like their counterattack is going to be their key to victory here, as Mar takes a ball deep towards a cluster of players.
Kaylin Cole in for Avery Brown, and then on the Piedmont side, Victoria Sierra in for Katie Himperly. That is 100% to just get Himperly some extra rest, but you take a massive risk when subbing out the Defensive Player of the Year. Solano trying to track this one down. Solano made that one a little bit closer than it should have been, as Mar will slide to grab that one.
And it seems like there's almost been a complete shift in strategy for the Lady Lions, as it looks like initially they were building up from the back, and now they get a ball and they push that thing forward. They did that with Judge a little bit earlier, and now Solano, the new player up front, is looking to do the exact same thing. Ball played out wide down the right sideline. Chipped in, going to be towards Mar. No answers for the Lady Lions, as Mar keeps possession and looks to change the point of attack. That
was Zeldin Russ there on the shot. Wanted to get it a little bit further towards the box and less towards the keeper. This one now played out long. Pair of bounces. Finally will dribble back to Katie Brown, who attempts to play it forward here. That catches Sierra. I don't even think she was looking at that one, as this is Victoria Sierra. Now it's out wide to King. King's just faster here. Can't catch up. Back in front of her here. King continuing to go down. Good slice back. Right-footed pass in. Sierra's got space. Sierra can't get around Bruno. Clearance, though, only to Lauder, who's slowly begun getting a little bit more forward. Lauder past one. Lauder around a couple, but can't connect with King. Brown will head it right back where it came from. It was Cole trying to play it forward, but she can only play it out to the side. And now Katie Brown will take the throw in here just above 11 minutes before half.
Another clear out, it seems like, for the Lady Lions. as we have Sierra putting that one just wide to the sideline. Scots looking to press up. Like I mentioned earlier, they are having to deal with a lot of counters, but their midfield has been something so strong, and I think that they have been utilizing that very well. Lee on the ball once again in a one-on-one situation, not generating anything off of that. Referee's going to give the ball to the Scots as they look to press forward.
Will be a throw-in just behind the midfield line. Smith trying to find an intended target here. Will be able to find Lee, but this one all the way to the back to Judson. And you still feel pretty good about your back line. It's Judge, Judson, Brown, and Lauder. You can't ask for a better back line there. Of course, the defensive mid, Hemperly, not there. Sierra does a good job to keep the Scott off ball, still winning this ball.
Strong shielding effort by her, still staying on that ball. Excuse me, looking to find backline once again. Up forward to
no one. It was intended for Solano, but a little bit of a miscommunication between the back and front lines of Piedmont here. Good little chip pass. Beautiful ball here. This is a threatening opportunity. Cole now trying to work around. Lauder will be able to at least get back in front. Lauder does a good job to stall this one. Shot on frame, but seen all the way by Dornan. With the rain continuing to worsen here.
Once again to King as she plays it down forward to Solano. Solano going for a one-on-one opportunity here. Strong shielding effort by Bruno as that ball is played out. Once again content for dealing with a throw-in.
Yet another sub standing at the table, and the change will be for Zeldenrust there, so a short stint for her. I believe this is Riley Servatius. It is. And another one for Timmy McCormack, who hasn't necessarily seen the most playing time thus far this year. Long throw in from Kings here. Doesn't find a head. The back line takes a big whiff at that one, and Mar will just flop onto that one. Good choice by the keeper there, because a pair of no touches back there always scary as a keeper.
Absolutely. You know, you want to trust your back line as much as the next person, but when they're not putting a foot on that ball, it is a scary situation. Ooh. Great leg by Mar as that ball travels all the way across to the halfway line. But Piedmont Lady Lions already on the counterattack. They have a couple ladies forward, jousted off the ball, do the Scots, and they are looking to counter immediately right after.
Counter quickly cut out by Ryan. This is forward towards Solano. Good pace to work back to this one, and she'll force the back to play it out. Deep throw in here. I wouldn't be surprised if this is Savannah Jerome to take the throw in here. Solano going to be subbed out. I believe that's Peyton Gates now.
And one thing I want to ask you is we have a little bit of downtime is I'm very curious that the Scots aren't really utilizing Mar in the backfield to rotate the ball out of their back line, instead content with kicking it out of bounds. I'm curious if they don't trust the footwork of Mar, or it's just more trying to set up and drop all their players back to try and defend that way.
Based on how much they've been dropping back, I'm assuming that is the reason, and it will be a corner for Piedmont off of the throw-in. So, waiting moments of the second half here. You'd love to find one. This is King setting up to take this. So it'll be a left-footed service in. Lady Lions now stacking the box. 7 in tight. Left-footed service. Plenty of heads there. Someone found a header to it, and it is off to the right. No goal there.
Good opportunity. One of those balls that definitely makes your heart sink if you are a Scott fan, as Mar did seem to be almost rooted to the spot. That ball could have easily trickled in, unfortunately just wide of that right side bar. Mar going to put the ball deep, and on the counterattack, going to be gobbled up by the Lady Lions defense once again. Early whistle from the referee, looking like just a little bit too much hands and grabbing by the Scots, and that's going to grant the Lady Lions another free kick.
Lauder's already flipped over to right back with Peyton Gates entering the game. She'll take up the position at left back. So now it's Brown forward. That was a miss hit, but it will sneak all the way through. Little miscommunication by the back line there, and Smith now will be on track to shield off King. Mar out to pick it up here just minutes above half now. 40th minute here in Demorest, Georgia. Sun finally starting to come out. It's still a little gloomy. Threat of rain. Of course, you've seen it's already rained a little bit. It has since cleared. which we hope it stays that way. Big turn allowed.
Look at
through the entire defense. Yeah, Chloe Chase is moving. But can't quite find any help there. Peyton Gates, long clearance towards King. King header first touch. King going to continue to win the physicality battle. Now it's back to Gates. Gates has also spent some time at forwards here, so that's a back with some pace. Good ball by Judson, who's now moved up top. Again, this whole Lady Lions team could play all over the pitch. I mean, Judson was your right back for 35 minutes and now is up top. Same with Judge. Judge was your forward for 30-plus minutes and is now your center back.
And I was just going to say how versatile and how beneficial that is in the long run when you have players who have the capabilities of doing nearly everything you can ask for a positionless player.
Lee going to be subbed out here. Ellie Fair coming in. Maddie Avery in for Madeline McCall as well. So Pep making just as many subs as Piedmont does. Again, I think if Piedmont scores, you'll also see Kaylee King switch to one of the center back positions. As again, in reality, right now, Piedmont has about 7 defenders on the pitch, and 2 of them are at forwards. This one's headed around. Out the side, Gates will take the throw in. Headed off of Sierra, but it catches a Scott on the way out. Piedmont just slowly grinding away, working this one down. Long throw in from King. No touch from Bruno, and now Smith going to have to try to let this one trickle out the back. But Judson, I believe, tapped that off of her, and it will be a corner. Great hustle there by Judson.
What a smart play as well from Judson, utilizing the fact that she knew they were just going to try and shield that ball all the way off the back line as it came off of a Lady Lions foot earlier. But now they're going to find themselves with, I believe, their 3rd or 4th corner kick so far in this first half. Mounting that pressure ever so slightly. Maryville going to continue to drop every player back. Ball coming in now as it is flooded.
This is towards the keeper. Big punch. Big serve back in. I think maybe a full volley attempt there by Savannah Jerome. Couldn't tell as it was so far off the mark. It ends up in the right corner. Man, that's tough.
Yeah. But credit toward the Piedmont Lady Lions. They are not wavering and adding up and mounting up that pressure as much as possible. Those forwards have been doing a lot of running, and it's great that they have trained and have so much stamina because, my goodness, are they putting pressure on those Scots defensive line. Mar going to find the left wing, but unfortunately off of the shoulder is going to be flown out wide. Lady Lions once again have another throw in. Deep throw attempted, not going to find the feet. And Maryville once again looking to counter here. And a one-on-one.
Oh, that's a big beat. That's a big beat here. Finally trying to break out are the Scots, but Lauder's just going to recover. She's just too fast. She'll cut out the counterattack. Danger not over just yet. Good play around one, but there's a step from Ryan as Lauder will be able to keep this one in. Danger removed. Great defensive stand there by Piedmont, but Simon, we finally got to see a Maryville counterattack.
Absolutely. Something that has been almost non-existent.
Yeah, it has been non-existent.
And when it happened, I mean, that was a threatening opportunity. Good thing, Piedmont Lady Lions have such a strong defensive line because they really showed a scare as Lady Lions are looking to do the exact same thing, played down the left sideline. 2 Scots jousting with her. No touch from the defenders as that's going to be given a goal kick to Mar and the Maryville Scots.
That was the freshman Gates, one of the pair of California natives on this team, trying to make something happen, but just can't quite do so. So, 3 minutes before we head to halftime here, maybe even a little bit less at this point. It's King trying to take a turn here. We'll just let the defender slide past, and King continuing to stay on ball. Has no help there and will eventually just be taken away.
Maryville continuing to drop deep, though Piedmont keeping the pressure up. Maryville now have a plethora of space down that left sideline, looking to push the tempo, have options in the middle and forward. We're going to be, and they find the middle. I thought it was eaten up initially, but they once again swing it out wide, keeping their composure, looking to build from the back and pressure.
Oh, lost her footing. Did the Lady Lions back here. No turn allowed, and Brown will be able to clear the danger here. That was a scary opportunity for Maryville, as now it's King. Waning moments of the half. King, good pace down line. She knows she's faster than Bruno and just goes right around her. King, no help in the box, though, and another back will be over to assist. It will go out in Piedmont's favor here.
Just a heavy touch, but you can see how many Lady Lions they're sending forward. Scots once again dropping all the way back. Mounting the posts, yeah, one on each post for the Scots. Lady Lions.
This is just 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds in the box. Judson shot block. This one's back up top. Abby Ryan the ball down. The question is, does it count? Ref will wave it off. It's waved off. It does not count. The final 10 seconds had expired. Oh my goodness.
And I have to ask, because traditionally, especially professional soccer, I don't know how it is at the D3 or collegiate level, but traditionally in soccer, if there's an advantage or some sort of attacking opportunity, you keep the play going.
No. So in the NCAA, once that clock hits 0, the ball has to be fully over the line, and the ref will rule that it was not. So despite that one ending up in the back of the net, we'll head to halftime here at the Walker Athletic Complex. It's 0-0. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back here on the behalf of the Department of Athletics, back for half number 2. The rain has moved in a little bit. I know it looks sunny on the broadcast, but it did rain during halftime, so the camera has been moved a little bit inside, a little bit less range of vision, but nonetheless, teams have flipped sides. Piedmont in the green, gold trim moving left to right. Maryville, Simon, I like how you describe it. Barcodes over there. Gray barcodes are now moving right to left. They'll be moving far to near.
Absolutely, and it has been one of the not super entertaining first halves we've seen so far this year, but nonetheless, it has been an absolute grudge match is the word I would choose to describe it. Both teams not finding many strong opportunities. They combined for 11 total shots, 6 for Maryville, 5 for Piedmont, but ultimately no real opportunities, just a couple shots on target, nothing coming to fruition as obviously the score is still 0-0. Piedmont going to look to continue their pressure, it seems, and looking to play that transition counterattacking football that they have kind of fallen in love with towards the latter end of the first half. But for Maryville, I'm curious to see if they're going to be able to bounce back and really use their counterattacking, because we saw a little bit of that in the beginning of, or towards the end of the first half, and it seemed to benefit them a lot more, finding themselves a lot more shots. But who knows? There was speculation that they may change formation around. I haven't figured out whether or not that is the case, but nonetheless, it is still it's such an incredibly tightly contested matchup today.
Yeah, we will figure all of that out. Really quickly, we'll go over who is on the pitch. Of course, coach is free to make substitutions at halftime. 71, Katie Brown. 5, Katie Himperly. 34 in goal, Haley Dornan. 24, Haley Teig. 10, Anya Olson. 25, Maddie Gallarelli, making her first appearance today. 32, Captain Abby Judge. 33, Sierra Judson. 14, Jade Edwards, also making her first appearance. 16, Alyssa Lauder, and 26, Abby Ryan for Piedmont. For the Scots, Lee, Muldoon, Cart, Lindsay, Proctor, Bruno, Martin, Schmoot, Smith, Brown, and in goal, Marr. And, well, on ball going to be Lee if Piedmont can't quite get to it. Good choice by Judge to play it over to Judson, who's now at right back. And we knew, we talked about it, time. We knew we were going to see tons of different combinations of backs today. And Judson been playing a center back role, now out to the right. Lauder stepping back into that left back position from the right back position.
Absolutely. And with so many strong defensive players on the Lady Lions side, it's no question that they're going to keep rotating and moving players up. As you mentioned, Judge has the ability. She started up front initially. It looks like she is dropped back, if I'm not mistaken, at the current point in time. Or
no. Edwards. Good little beat for Peace here. Will try to get the service in, but it catches her. No, it does not. Okay, it caught her after it had crossed the touchline there. Edwards, again, a senior from Dayton, Ohio, I believe. Her and Judge, both Ohio natives there. One from Bellbrook, one from Dayton. And so we'll see what Edwards has in store. Yes, from Dayton, Ohio. Long service in. Found Katie Brown. Still bounced around the box. Olsen fighting hard for it, and they'll whistle Olsen for the foul. Again, Olsen's got to be careful. She's already gotten a pretty stern warning there. I don't think that warrants a card, and we will not see one, but again, another foul given away in the midfield there. I think we'll see Olsen with a card.
For sure. Olsen, I believe that's number 4 for her so far. Nothing too vicious yet, but, when you start racking up those ticky-tack fouls, it eventually will turn into a card. Lady Lions looking to go on the counter initially. Olsen was on the ball. That's going to be flipped out. Olsen back on the ball now, looking to play up down the right sideline. Through ball.
Oh, great ball.
Out wide. An adjust and shielded off by the Scots well. Does it stay out? Yes, it does, and the Scots are going to find themselves with a goal kick here.
Great piece of defense for the Scots there. That'll be a goal kick for Marr. Great fight by the backs. All day, Simon. It's been a battle between these Piedmont forwards and the Maryville backs, and for the most part, Maryville on the winning side, though Piedmont's had a couple really good looks.
Absolutely. They had a couple counterattacking opportunities. King, the most notable in my opinion, had a one-on-one chance with her dominant foot on the ball. It just didn't seem to find the shot she liked too much, so nothing there. But Lady Lions persistent starting up this opening second half, and they're going to swing it out wide. I believe that's to Hemperly, as she plays a short ball in, gobbled up by the Scots defense.
Back to Lauder. Lauder to Himperly, who's getting forward here. Onside still. Himperly right-footed service. It was intended for Olsen, and she stepped the wrong way. Maybe didn't see how much carry that ball had on it. It will go out the side.
Gorgeous one-on-one opportunity there for Olsen. Fantastic ball by Himperly. Just didn't seem to have that perfect connection, but nonetheless, Piedmont putting the pressure and front foot down as they look to grab a goal early in the beginning of the second half.
This one's headed out by Piedmont off of Mar's goal kick and continue to rock forward here. Good contest by Ryan. It'll go back to Judson here. Pair of Scots on, but Judson feeds it through both. Ryan, big step. Ryan, well known for her defense, hit the bar down shot at the end of the game, or at the end of the first half, and fun fact, won't even end up in the scorebook. Went back and looked at the official ruling. They ruled that the buzzer had hit before Ryan ever made contact with the ball, so no shot even credited for her bar down goal that was waved off at the end of the first half. I mean, heartbreaking for Piedmont there. Seconds, give her a second and a half, and it's 1-0 Piedmont.
Absolutely. It was such a fantastic shot, just slightly late. Obviously, the ball needs to be across that end line for it to count as a goal, but nevertheless, Piedmont Lady Lions have continued what they ended with in the first half with their pressure, as the Scots finally starting to find themselves in the Lady Lions' defensive half as they're building from the back up. On the right sideline, finding themselves in the middle now. They have a couple players forward, switching it to the left sideline. That's going to be Smoot out there. Cross ball in. Lee on the header. Just not enough. There was a strong amount of contact. Two players go down. Lee gets up, and it looks like Judge is still on the ground. Curious to see how she's up on her own, trying to collect herself. I believe they're ruling that a corner kick.
It is a corner kick headed out by Judge. Rain has ceased here, so we're going to move the camera back outside. Again, apologies for the shakiness there. We're making it work here despite the gloomy weather. This long service in. Dornan's out to grab it. Great hands by her, and she's able to grab it well.
Well done by her. Not the tallest player on the field, but she definitely got up there, able to haul that in herself.
Fun fact about Haley Dornan, she actually played in the field a little bit last year. It does have a goal to her name, so a true athlete across the pitch there, of course, has been the Lady Lions keeper for the majority of the year. But yeah, definitely speaks to the athleticism. Judge looking like her usual self. That's played out off the Scots. It'll be a throw-in for Piedmont.
Scots found their footing a little bit here, but Piedmont looking to keep the pressure up. Ball down the left sideline once again. Having a ton of grace, jersey surrounding her. She's going to lose it there. Another 50 after 50 after 50, it seems. Another tackle. That's going to be a foul on the Scots as Kemperly goes down once again. She's going to find herself with another free kick. And Piedmont Lady Lions beginning to throw themselves forward as it was in the first half. The Scots are sending everyone back in that box to defend.
Indeed, and we'll see what Himperly can serve up here. Himperly. Long service here. We know she has the boot intended for Edwards, and that'll be a foul on Edwards there. Never really played the ball, and Scots will have a free kick in goal there. So Mar will step out to take it here. A little bit of breath for both squads here as Mar's going to wait on her team to move a little bit further up the field. If you're just joining us here, Davis Barlow, Simon Johnstone here on the broadcast. The first half, I'll be honest, wasn't the most exciting here for the inaugural CCS championship game. Both teams had some looks, and the real excitement, again, if you look at the score sheet, will never count because, of course, Abby Ryan's goal came after the buzzer. No shot ever credited. Trying to create some excitement down the line as Olsen and her service is blocked, but another corner for Piedmont here down in that rough area to see. You can see all of the thunderclappers out here for Piedmont. Student Res Life providing those for, again, a pretty good crowd on hand here. Probably about 200 between what you can see and what's off to the left and right and up towards the Mize Athletics. There are probably about 250 people or so here for this contest. So a great turnout, great service, but no one near post. Needed to be back post. Now it's back to the server, Edwards. Maybe a second attempt to right the wrong here. Back to Ryan, plenty of space. Maryville, Simon continuing to just pack in. I mean, they really don't step on the wing too much.
Absolutely. They are just content with sitting inside the middle. Like we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, if you were not there for that, they like to take control of the central midfield. They fly all around. Their front and forward midfielders are always everywhere, and they seem to make sure that they want that to be their territory and content with letting those Lady Lions try to generate something with a cross or cutting inside from that wing position.
Out off Piedmont, Lee going to restart it quickly. Right back down in front. Now back to Lee. Plenty of time and space here. Judson waiting to step will now go ahead and give chase across the pitch. Edwards thought about sinking back, but instead it's being played across as the rain begins to move in again. This one going to go out down the side, and It will be a Piedmont throw-in. So, apologies again. Camera going to be moved back inside while this little shower comes through. It was to be expected today. We were actually originally a little bit concerned, thinking this game itself might be delayed due to some of the weather here in northeast Georgia, but it's held off for the most part, Simon. Still sun out, but a little bit of a drizzle creating some slippery conditions.
It's definitely one of those weird weather conditions that you don't see too often. My friends and I call it sun raining, when you can see both the sun and the rain, but that is going to have a pretty significant effect on our pitch here today. As you can see, we are playing on a turf, as a through ball to Proctor will get gobbled up by the Piedmont Lady Lions defense and get to be granted as what looks like a corner kick.
I think it's a throw-in. Yeah, just barely inside that flag down in the corner. I haven't talked too much about the temperature. It's about 65 degrees here. It's a little muggy, which is, again, surprising. I mean, we're in November. It was freezing here a couple weeks ago. And welcome to Georgia, by the way. It continues to throw each and every direction as that one's cleared out onto the Piedmont softball field. Throw in for the Lady Lions, taken quickly. Gallarelli into Olsen. Olsen, plenty of space here. Has Gallarelli to her right. Had Hemperly in front of her. Still has Gallarelli. Wanted to go wide, but just a lack of communication there, and it will go out to the side out the back for a Mar goal kick.
Strong cut-in by Olsen there. She looked to have almost an opportunity to take the shot, but Lady Lions seemingly looking to have a confident shot rather than just taking a wild one. Something that is a little bit different, I would say, from the Maryville Scots game plan, as they seem to be firing from 20, 30, right outside the box at 18 yards, as they're just trying to put shots on target. Hopefully one will slip in with this inclement weather and the slippery turf that they have to deal with.
Oh boy, this is down line, but look at that thing skip. I mean, look at that thing skip there. As we will have a clock stoppage here, and ref going to have a talk with Abby Ryan here. I'm not sure if something was said or what had occurred. Maybe, I think the offsides flag was up, but I'm not sure what the talk with Orion was about. Interesting. Either way, we'll move forward here. As Simon, what I was originally alluding to was that ball skipped, 6-7 feet forward because of the turf conditions.
Absolutely. Playing with a wet turf is one of the most difficult things when it comes to playing soccer, because it is so hard to weight those passes forward, as you're going to see it skip once again down that sideline. Proctor trying to make a play on it, as just beaten out once again.
Ooh, and that's a foul against
Proctor.
Against Proctor there. A little bit of a late challenge on Katie Brown is... All right, the fouls continue to pour in here. We've already seen one yellow today for an errant tackle, and we're bordering on a couple more as the petty fouls continue to rack up for both sides.
Bit of a dead opportunity right now. Ball finally back into play off the Lady Lions. Proctor looking to make an attack. Cleared out once again by Judge, one of those top-tier defenders we've talked about time and time again so far in this broadcast. Coming down the left sideline are the Scots, has Lee and Proctor in the midfield. Good ball around the left side. Ball coming in low. Nothing coming to fruition as the Lady Lions looking to transition early.
Great job by Smoot there to create the opportunity. Now it's Gallarelli creating around a pair. Gallarelli down the right wing into the box. Doesn't have the pace and's muscled off of that one. That is a great clean play there by the back.
Fantastic job, though, by Gallarelli. The display of pace and poise that she just had, where she was able to bounce around two defenders, a couple thigh touches, a couple head touches, putting herself through was fantastic. And although it didn't come into fruition like we said, this ball has been going up and down the pitch all day, and I think that is going to continue as the pressure and intensity just continues to heat up.
Maryville change was Chloe Chase in for Avery Brown. So this one intended for Hemperly, who's now, again, the defensive player of the year, who is a true center defensive mid, is now playing forward for the Lady Lions in an attempt to find the go-ahead goal here. Great defense by Lauder. As Lauder continuing to put on a show, escapes around a couple. Lauder was the one to score against Covenant. She has not been moved to the forward position yet today. She's just too solid at the back to really let go here. As now a big step, big beat. It's Ryan in a one-on-one. Ryan, good pace, good shielding, and Katie Brown will be able to assist, and that's going to be a push there from the Scot. That's just a bad foul given away. You'd won the ball. There's no reason to make the push.
And that's back-to-back times for Proctor getting that foul call where it's...
Oh, and that's a clock stoppage, and I believe this might be a yellow on Pepe Hernandez here.
Clearly frustrated with the call.
I mean, that was a good call down
Right.
on this side. Proctor with the shove well after the play was over. And I mean, that is a poor decision because the ball was going to be a Maryville throw-in.
Absolutely.
I get the frustration, but still.
And they're finding themselves opportunities, so it's a little odd for her to display that much frustration in back-to-back plays, maybe just saying, oh, I had those opportunities, nothing came out of it. Here's another one, though, for the Scots.
Big
Ball
collision
played
there, and yeah, this might be Olsen's yellow here. As her and Smoot collided, Olsen came up limping a little bit, and they will not address it.
Slightly favoring one of her legs. It looks like her left leg, her ankle potentially.
That was a rough collision.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact on that one. Deep ball in for the Scots. Proctor on the head. Ball jousting here and around. Another clear from Ryan this time as the Lady Lions looking to go on the counter.
Oh.
Ball played through. Olsen doesn't care if she's feeling any pain. She's trying to push through, and just a little too much weight on that ball as Mar is able to collect that one and shut down the counterattack.
Good choice by Mar to step there. It's Bruno off the back line. Plenty of space here. Lady Lions not really high pressing here. They don't really need to because giveaways like that will create opportunities. It's Edwards to Gallarelli. Great job to stay on ball there. It's Gallarelli now down the right wing. Continuing to fight off a would-be defender here. Lindsay tracking her all the way into the corner and I believe just tapped it out, so it will be a throw-in for the Lady Lions as Lauder will come all the way forward from the right back position to take this throw in. She can throw this one pretty deep into the box. She might look for Himperly. She does. As Himperly pushed from behind in the box, they'll rule it clean.
Oh my goodness.
That is a rough call there for Piedmont. It would have been a penalty kick as this is going to be a long shot. Judson back post, but it's just off to the right. Had a chance, but will not end up being the go-ahead goal.
And how about that no call from the referee? I myself didn't see the play all that well, very far away, and do have a wooden post to deal with. But I will say that is such a detrimental call to the Lady Lions, who have just been building so well and putting on so much pressure to this back line of the Scots. As once again, another joust occurs in the midfield, this time going the way of the Scots, looking to counter. They are playing not on the back line of the Lady Lions. Almost super good contest by Judge, going to not get the ball as a reward. Scots once again on the counter. Lee not going to be able to hold on to the ball. Fantastic clear by the back line once again.
Katie Brown with a massive boot. That's almost all the way down into the far right corner there from the defensive third. And it'll drive Maryville back once again. 62nd minute here at the Walker Athletic Complex. No score just yet. You have to feel the next one is going to break this game wide open as they're going to whistle Olsen for a foul there.
A lot?
The Piedmont fans, I mean, that was right in front of a host of them, not happy with that one. And I do believe the direct substitution is now, that's a rough foul on Ryan.
This whistle's finding a lot of action here early in the second half.
It really is. We know he didn't leave it at home because it's getting used every 30 seconds here. So now Katie Brown, the long service here. She can put this into the box if she chooses. Long overhead ball intended for Himperly just outside the box. Himperly first touch to Gallarelli. Settled. Gallarelli will just play it out wide. There's no one there, so this is going to have to be Gallarelli herself. She will be able to make her way out. Good contest by the back. I mean, that is fantastic in the one-on-one, and it's a long clearance back up top. Tig will keep it from escaping the defensive third, but no help forward. It will be played out the side. Kaylee King due to sub in here.
Absolutely. Good job by the Lady Lions. Look at how far up they are pressing. A great thing to see if you're the coach, McCormack, because you know that you have all the pressure in the world sitting on the Scots defensive line, and with the Scots sitting still so far back, dropping as many players as possible to not allow a free opportunity to occur in a counterattack, they're going to keep having to deal with this pressure from the Lions, because when you don't have a player up front, it is almost impossible to shift that momentum and shift that whole team forward, as the Scots are deciding to just deal with the defense and then push forward.
And now your forward three for Piedmont. King, Himperly, and Olsen, the three seniors across that board, the three game changers. We'll see if they can make a difference. So again, you talked about getting forward. I mean, you have Lauder who can push forward as a back. Judge has already played up top. Really, the only two on your back line right now that can't get forward as well are Ryan and Brown. And of course, Brown, this true center back, will not get forward most likely. Everyone else on this team could play a forward position if required.
The first sort of slow pace we have seen so far in the second half. A lot of throw-ins have been going on. King looks like is the one putting that one into play. She goes for a 50-50. Wins the first one, goes to the feet of a Scott. Lee on the counter here, had a one-on-one, heavy touch.
Oh,
played
this
to the
is
outside,
dangerous.
down the left-hand sideline. She now has a one-on-one against, I believe that's Brown, right?
Schmoot and Brown. Schmoot beats Brown for peace. Shot the right at Dornan, and it will be saved. Ooh, scary opportunity there, and good job by the center back, Katie Brown, to make her way out wide there. That's what you have to be careful of, and it's the risk you run. When you send Lauder forward, your right back with pace is not there, and you leave the danger to a center back who doesn't necessarily have as much pace.
Yeah, absolutely. She did a great job cutting that off and shutting down Smoot's attacking opportunity. Another one looking for Smoot. That's just going to, I believe, roll.
It's staying in. Staying in. Lauder, pair of fakes. It's knocked out, and it should be a Piedmont. No, it will be off of Lauder, so it's a throw-in for Maryville. Header collision. No, miss hit by Judge. That's rare, and it'll end up right with Lauder here. Now forward, Olsen. Oh, what a meg. Olsen forward here. Has some help, but not enough. Instead, we'll drop back. Wanted to find Edwards, who looks like she might be needing a substitute here, as three head to the table for Piedmont. Good contest by Ryan. Dangerous to Lee. Extremely dangerous. Back in front. Pair of shooting opportunities, but Brown will stop the first one, block the second one. Follow-up is blocked away as well, and it'll land with Dornan. So scary stuff for the Lady Lions back line, but Maryville cannot break through.
Another fantastic punt by Dornan as that one clears the halfway line. Another push-up once again, and that's going to be a non-play on the ball. Whistle going to be blown in favor of the Scots.
Good job of shielding there by Smoot to just continue to frustrate Lauder there, as free kick just inside the midfield line. We'll see where we sit here. It's Williams, Gates, and Sierra, Victoria Sierra, due to check in here. We'll see where they fit into this equation. This one's played short, and we'll only find Abby Ryan. Olsen loses the header. Little push in the back, no call, and now Olsen again will be back on ball here. Good shielding. Olsen, turn allowed, forward towards King, able to beat one center back, but not the second. That's a mishit, and it will allow Olsen to get back on ball. She does a good job to keep this one in. Olsen just continuing to body forward here. That's a fantastic look. I don't know how that's a throw-in. Okay, it is a Piedmont throw-in there. It was a little miscommunication between the AR and the center ref, but they will get that adjusted. Tig is out. Edwards is out. And they're motioning towards, no, they're moving Himperly to the back. The third player to exit is Katie Brown. Much needed break for her. Great job today. And so the three on will be Emma Williams, Victoria Sierra, and Peyton Gates. Long throw in towards the box. Olsen collides. Gates settles. Pair of touches. Half volley. Ooh, and that caught the Maryville defender square. It's kept in. This is to Lauder. Lauder's dangerous in these situations. She'll go to Williams. Williams, heavy first touch, will be forced to go to the back line. To Judson. Judson, big pressure. Judson depossessed. This is numbers here for the Scots. True one-on-ones. Ryan, good pace. Judge over to this one, and Dornan out off her line. Lee, fantastic forward. Simon just not going to have the pace to keep up with this back line.
Absolutely. A quick back line do the Lady Lions have, but I will commend the Scots offense. It was kind of the first counterattacking opportunity, and what a strong one it was. It's a little too heavy on that through ball, so Lee could not get onto it, but nonetheless, they're starting to find their footing here in the second half after a fantastic start where the Lady Lions have continued exactly where they left off. Olsen now playing down the right-hand sideline, looks to put a ball in, finds ahead of a Scott. Another 50. Scott's looking to clear it out here, gets the deep ball, headed by Williams. And
oh, that's just to no one. It'll be taken away. And you know, Simon, we haven't gotten to talk about it because she's had such a quiet day, but Sierra Lee is the leading goal scorer for the Scots by far. She's nearly doubled the next close person. She has 13. As she's on ball here, right on cue, but I mean, she has had a quiet day. That's a breakdown to the back line. This is on sides. Dornan, though, will slide out and make the save. That's a missed opportunity.
Fantastic press up by Dornan, and I have to be honest, it looked like...
Wow.
I'm so sorry. It looked like Judson was kind of lost. I saw her where the run was exactly happening. She was on the left sideline, and she was almost wasn't connected with her back line in a sense, so... that gave the Scots their first true opportunity, but unfortunately, no goal for a reward.
And that backline connection, of course, I mean, you need to be lined up equally because the rest of the backline figured that the forward was offsides, but because of how deep Judson was, the forward for the Scots still on sides, well within the field of play there. And, I mean, Dornan, good pace to get out to that one. Again, Dornan, a true athlete back there. I mean, that is a fantastic save. It was Proctor that was on sides.
Absolutely.
This is some great defense from Emma Williams here. Tackle is clean. Proctor depossessed. Ryan now trying to work this one around. And, I mean, the further point as Piedmont looking for the counterattack. We'll readdress that point here in a second as this one's forward, taken away by the Scots here. The further point, your true center back, Katie Brown, is off the pitch right now because she needed a break. And, I mean, there is a breakdown in that back line right now. Look how much deeper Judson is than everybody else here. Good cutout by Lauder. I mean, someone on that back line is not in the right position.
Absolutely, and that's where, you know, your voice needs to come into play, whether or not it's a corner or center back that they decide to do that, or even your goalie. You need someone to communicate. As another great ball down the right sideline happens, Lady Lions looking to put another ball in.
It's Gates. It's Gates. Slide tackles clean. I believe that one is clean. And now it might be a counterattack here again. Piedmont, they look exhausted here on this pitch. I mean, they are letting the Scots run all over the place. Is forward with 3. Numbers in favor of the Lady Lions. Big step from Himperly, and the clearance is out long. Tagan's coming back in, which will shore up that back line, but I mean, you've got some tired-looking players on that pitch right now.
Absolutely. Scott's looking to turn this in a track race and very content with that kind of pace. Is even with a smaller roster size and a smaller amount of substitutions, if I'm not mistaken, they have been running up and down this pitch, not looking any more tired than they were in the first minute of this game.
And this is where Piedmont wanted to get some of its starters some rest so you could avoid this in the second half. Maryville, a true second-half team. So that was intended for Proctor. Won't quite reach. Williams will clear it long. Out wide to Kaylee King with time and space here. Dangerous situation. It's King. Forward. Round 1. King, plenty of space. Long left-footed shot. Catches the defender in the back, and then King, frustration foul there. Oh, and Scott is still down here. This was away from the play. It's the defender that got caught by the ball here. So we're going to take a short break here on the broadcast while we check on this player. You're listening to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Back here, short break. Just got the wind knocked out of her, did the center back for Maryville. Good to see her back to her feet. Play has resumed. Because again, I mean, I wouldn't want to take that ball from Kaylee King in the back, and I don't think anybody here does as well. This one played out the side. As the Scots did make a substitution earlier. We're waiting to see who it was. It was Katie O'Brien for Smoot, who's having such a good half. Must have needed a break. Piedmont has not been allowed to make its subs just yet. So this is a dangerous look. This is really dangerous. Past one, but cannot slip it past Himperly. Gates sold out on the fake shot.
That's going to be cleared all the way to the street, over the fence and through a tree. To grandmother's house we go is that ball. And Scott's looking to add the pressure. One thing I've noticed is look how deep Piedmont Lady Lions defensive line and midfielders are all dropping back. They have pretty much Olsen and one other player as their most north players, and they're barely like halfway to that halfway line. So definitely pounding the back line and making sure that that counterattack opportunity that we saw a couple minutes ago won't happen again. Scott's looking to add some pressure, keeping a couple players forward. Played down the right sideline, hoping for Proctor, but that's going to be kicked out of bounds. Another throw-in for Maryville.
Piedmont made some kind of, the ref made some kind of change over at the Piedmont table to the scoreboard. Can't quite see it from our angle, but I don't think it drastically affects anything on the pitch. This is a long service in. It got past Judge. Header will not connect with anyone. But still on the ball are the Scots, trying to beat Lauder. Around Lauder, dangerous opportunity, dropped off. Lindsay thought about pulling it. Now a left-footed pull's blocked by a host of Lady Lions, and nothing will come of it. That was a newly subbed on O'Brien who created the opportunity right here in front of us.
Great job dicing up that defense. Ball now, I believe, intended for O'Brien, but that's going straight to the feet of Lauder, as it's once again intercepted. Lauder looking to push into the midfield. Lauder taken away from her.
Lauder looks exhausted out here, as many of these Lady Lions do. This temperature and this humidity really starting to get to everyone on this pitch as play slows down here. Lady Lions, trio of subs at the table. Would love to get them on sooner rather than later, as we're in the 73rd minute.
And this is where that bench depth, if it is as strong as their starters are, it is going to come and reap so many rewards for these Piedmont Lady Lions. As we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, they have a roster of near about 40 players on that team, many of which, if not all, are extremely capable of playing extended minutes and playing to such a high level, especially for an event such as the Conference Championship.
Waiting to see if Piedmont is going to get these subs on anytime soon, as tired legs continue to hold on here. Maryville taking its time, buying some time for both squads to catch their breath. Long throw in from the Piedmont corner coming here. As Maryville will now usher a sub to the table. Headed by Judge right back where it came from. And it crosses over the touchline. It will be a throw in now for the Scots. It should be a throw in for Piedmont, as all subs will be allowed to enter. Piedmont's going to go with 4, as Judge, Williams, Lauder, and Judson exit.
They are going to grant Maryville with that throw-in.
Yeah, I noticed that.
How that happened, but nevertheless,
we'll roll with it.
Piedmont Lady Lions are going to need to really set themselves up here and block out another intimidating attack from these Scots.
Tegan Tig Brown and Christina Sierra are the 4 subs for the Lady Lions. The Scots sub was Avery Brown for Chloe Chase, as now both Victoria and Christina Sierra are on the pitch.
Dornan once again back for her goal kick. She's got quite the leg in the punting category. I don't remember if we've seen her goal kick all that much so far. It's been a lot more live action situations for her today. She's going to now take the step up, looking to clear that ball as far as possible. Going to find the head of a Scot. Unfortunately, she's going to get another opportunity here. And Dornan is looking to put this one much deeper.
Will make its way out to the midfield line. No settle just yet. Lee finally able to get a piece of it, but Tig's in the way. Tig able to fight through this one, as it's now to Kaylee King. King wants to go down line, but waited way too heavily. Christina Sierra's got some speed on her, but not that much.
Slowly turning down the heat from that exciting beginning of this second half. We have Marr taking a punt, this one deep, trying to find the head of Lee. Not going to connect, but once again, Lady Lions take possession. Back is Olsen trying to find King on the left sideline. She does. Goes for a 50. Scots take advantage. King drops the defender. No call there, claiming that she didn't touch her. I didn't see it. King now on the left sideline, looking to play a ball in. Does play it in fact.
Oh.
Header, and just not enough of an angle to generate a shot from...
I believe that was Christina Sierra's. The Sierra girls now both down in the corner here. Scrum for this one, as neither team really wants to give away possession, as we're still fighting for it down in this corner. Victoria Sierra came out on top, but the whistle, the foul, I believe, on Christina Sierra. Wow, that was a scramble down in that corner.
Absolutely. Colors of all jerseys were headed down there, and nothing to be a benefit or generated from that situation. But Scots now free kick from their own defensive third.
No, it's a throw-in, I believe.
Is it?
Okay, so maybe they're going to say... maybe they're going to say that it went out off of Christine. Okay, I don't know. Difficult to see down in that corner to begin with, but all we know, Maryville throw-in. Now coming forward is Proctor, who looks just so much more fresh than the rest of the field. Proctor forward, trying to get around Himperly. Defensive Player of the Year, just not going to let it happen as Tegan put this in a bad spot. Follow-up shot blocked well. It's still there. Proctor's offsides. Flag is up.
And how about that defensive effort from Himperly? Got beat initially with the drop step from Proctor, but recovered so incredibly quick and shut down that pass over to Lee.
And it was Peyton Gates selling out to block the follow-up. As time continues to dwindle away. 77th minute is...
Oh.
This is going to be a yellow card. Oh, my goodness. It's a yellow card to Cameron Earl. Oh my goodness, the assistant for Maryville. Again, Lion Great, spent 5 years here, third all-time in scoring. Add that one to the books. Earls thought his career getting yellow cards at the Walker Athletic Complex was done. Not quite. Another yellow for Cameron Earls here, as that's a rough tackle from behind, and the foul will be called against Proctor.
We're nearing the 10-minute left mark, or 80th minute, as the scoreline still stands 0-0. A lot more action than we had in the first half, but nevertheless, no goals for either side. There's been a few strong opportunities. Proctor notably had a one-on-one with the keeper, not to be with that offside miss. And King, among other opportunities in the second half. Nothing has been scored just yet, but a lot more action, and I'm sure it's going to keep heating up towards the end of this match.
Now, folks, this is the CCS championship game, meaning we have to have a winner here. Maryville got to this point with a PK win. Played a full game, 2 halves of extra, and then went to PKs and took down Belhaven. Piedmont, of course, 1-0 over Covenant, finished it in regulation. We have to have a win here. So if we cannot have a goal, cannot find a goal after 90 minutes, we will go to 2 extra halves, 10 minutes each. You'll play all 20 minutes. If we're still tied after that, we'll go to PKs here, and I don't think any of our hearts can take that. So somebody's got to find one here sometime soon. Himperly big boot out towards Victoria Sierra. King anticipating this ball back to the keeper. He's going to force the Scots to tap this one out the side. It should be a throw-in for Piedmont, and it will be.
Sierra on the pickup immediately, looking to find King. King does get her feet on it eventually, going to roll out of bounds. King now looking to throw it in and put some pressure in the central area of the attacking third.
Slowing things down are Piedmont here. King, long throw-in, wanted Olsen, but only finds gray jersey. Olsen surrounded by 5 different gray jerseys, was not able to make anything happen. Tig's first touch was heavy. Tig, big pop over, but not settled just yet by anyone. Big scrum for this one here, as finally the Scots will come away with it. They'll whistle. Wow, they'll whistle Gates for the foul there. And so it'll be a free kick for the Scots here, 78th minute of play.
And just foul after foul in this second half. It has been as physical as you can imagine for these two teams so far. And while there's only been 1 yellow card handed out, there has been an abundance of stoppages. Now, we don't play extra time in terms of stoppages in the clock. The clock continues to run all the way until we hit that 90th minute, but they're just running out of time. That free kick seems to just fly out of bounds. Going to be a freebie given to the Lions as they look to throw in, and a new Scot comes on the field.
Yeah, strange mishit there from the Scots, and it'll be Hannah Schmoot coming back in for Katie O'Brien. O'Brien made the most of her minutes. I mean, she created Maryville's best opportunity thus far. Schmoot was just trying to catch her breath. Judge depossessed here, and this is the danger now as the back line continues to tire out, but it's cut out well by Tegan there. Cannot possess it, though, and a good force by Christina Sierra will force Schmoot to the corner. She just tapped this one out. That's definitely over the touchline.
No call from the sideline referee. He believes it stayed on that line, but nevertheless, I don't have a good angle here, but I believe they were jousting for the ball. They're going to give it as a... Is that a foul?
No, it'll be, I think they're going to say touch by Piedmont here. The Piedmont sub was Abby Judge for Victoria Sierra, as it won't really matter here. This ball headed back towards Piedmont. Judge, good turn. Olsen up top. This is a big moment. The senior from California in a one-on-one. Wants to go left, tries to go left, but the back just a little bit too strong back there. I believe that's Avery Brown.
Great defensive effort, but yeah, those counterattacks are seeming to come a lot more often here in this second half, as Solano's on the ball, going to kick it back out to Olsen, who's going to try and put it in the inside. And they're going to give a goal kick here. I didn't believe Olsen touched it, but I guess she was the last to handle that ball before it rolls across the base or end line.
Either her or Sierra, one of the two. Couldn't quite tell, and it'll be Marr for the goal kick here, entering towards that last 10 minutes of play here. Settled well by Lindsay. But Macy Lindsay can't find anyone. Piedmont throw in. Lions starting to pick up the pace. They can feel these last 10 minutes in front of them. Would love to find one here late. Olsen, big slide tackle. Will knock the ball into that Piedmont bench. It'll be a throw in for the Scots down there. Far side of the pitch, rain threatening to move back in. Couple sprinkles here. That's Proctor. Forward towards Lee, who has had a beyond quiet day. Brown will get the best of her on that set. So Olsen now uses the body to try to get around that one. And wow, will be whistled for the foul. I don't know much about that one. We've been letting that play all day. Taken quickly here, and now it's judged. Oh!
Ball didn't seem to stop on that free kick. I believe she's going to get another opportunity to do so.
Should not get another opportunity because she tried to play the ball. It should be an improper free kick, and it should be Piedmont ball here. But the AR center ref, was talking, I believe, to the AR there, so no one noticed it. It'll be Bruno from the back. Finds a Scott, but the first touch is poor. Tig's clearance only connects with a Scott. As the physical play continues, they'll call Sierra for crashing into, I believe that was Cart, who's also whistled to bring that free kick back.
And one of the first big opportunities since that offside mishap for the Scots here, sending a couple players forward, still seating 2 defensive players, even though we have the Lions have no players really up pressuring past that ball. Scots keeping those players back and setting more and more, as are the Scots, believing that this might be their golden opportunity.
This is Muldoon. Muldoon over ball, chip in. It sneaks over one, but Katie Brown there to head it out, and this is where you have to be careful because Kaylee King loves to counterattack. King has judged forward, has Bruno directly in front of her. King darts inside. She knows she has to pace on Bruno. Went around Bruno. Around 3. Still has Judge if she wants her. Kaylee King around everyone to Sierra. A little slow down. Sierra pulls it, and that never had a chance. Wow, that is well off to the right, untouched, and it will be a goal kick for Mar there. That was not the opportunity you're looking for.
No, definitely not. Great run by King. Found Sierra. Seemed like everything was going their way, and then she, in my opinion, fired the trigger just a little bit too early and unfortunately didn't really even give a scare to Mar. Mar's going to say thank you very much and give herself a free kick and look to give the Scots another opportunity to score.
Sierra Judson, the sub for Piedmont, took out Peyton Gates. Now it's Olsen. Big settle. Olsen around to 1. Olsen with a pair in front. Olsen shot blocked. Now it's to King. Recovery. Oh no. King down there. That was an awkward step, and you might see this one slow down. They will whistle for the high kick.
I thought it nearly caught the face.
Yeah, it almost did, which is the reason that we see the whistle there. Ref wanted to give the advantage, and
quick play by the Scots.
King has not come back yet. This is something to note here. King is still slow in the back.
Hampering with a left hip, it looks like, is King. Scots see this and want to go at attack as quickly as possible. Ref is going to motion towards a sub before that throw-in is given. Scots bringing a player in, as are the Lions. Sierra comes out.
It's Maddie Gallarelli back in, and then I believe the change is Muldoon out for the Scots. That one is not quite. No, it is Avery Brown out. Katie O'Brien coming back in. That's not a surprise. Again, she has made the most of her minutes thus far. Awkward play here as Tegan trying to get to it, and it will be a goal kick for Piedmont.
King also notably still staying in, working on the left hip, trying to keep it loose. I believe she told McCormack, I'm good, I'm going to keep finishing out this game. And she seems to be already 90% recovered from where she was initially, as, oh my gosh, Dornan is back once again to have another goal kick.
Under 5 left here in regulation. It's Dornan. That one actually sneaks over Tig. Had a couple issues judging that one. Now it's forward to King. Oh, little cheeky backheel pass here. We'll get to Gallarelli. Gallarelli now. 2 harassing, making a break for the corner here. Gallarelli couldn't quite sneak around, and the back will be forced to play it out. It'll be a deep throw in.
Smart
for
play
Piedmont here
by the left back of Maryville as she kept it out of the corner kick, and instead forcing the Lions to have a throw in. King now, she is a threat with a long throw in, so don't expect this to be an easy one to deal with. King already far back, hoping to get this thing as close to the goal as possible. Here's the throw in now, only finding
but it's right back. It's right back to King. King, service, left-footed. I think she actually pulled that, and it's well off inside post. And Another opportunity for the Lady Lions gone by here. Under 4 in front. This feels like extra time here. Again, no golden goal. That was removed here in the CCS. So instead, we'll play both halves of overtime should we need it. Right now, Schmoot trying to be the difference maker. It's Schmoot and Tegan. Tegan's out wide. Tegan cannot get the best of Schmoot. Left-footed service right at Tig, though, and it's headed back out. It'll be a throw-in now for Schmoot right in front of us. Schmoot quickly to Proctor. Proctor's been a problem, but quickly depossessed. Himperly slams it off Smoot, and it'll go back mid, where Tig's able to clear it upfield. Not able to get it towards Judge. Bruno, though, heavy shoulder touch. And it will allow Judge to play that one further up the pitch, putting the Scots further back. This is where you have to be careful. They haven't gone back to Mar much. And it's King giving chase. Judge is going to high press as well. That'll force a mistake. So now it's Abby Ryan in the mid. Good handle by Ryan. Good challenge by Ryan. Tackled from behind, and they'll call Macy Lindsay there for the trip. And it's a yellow, Carl. I think that's for what was said. He was not reaching for a card until Lindsay turned around. Oh, and we might see. Thought it was another Scot coming to protest here, but yellow assessed to Macy Lindsay. This will be a free kick for the Lady Lions here. You have a couple different options. You have Himperly, you have Tig, you have Brown. You have King if you really wanted to, but you'd like her to be in the box here. You put the height in the box and try to serve this one in. It is Haley Tig who's going to look to serve it here to Lady Wall for Maryville.
Once again, Maryville dropping back all their players. Piedmont slowly pushing up most of theirs. They're trying to get as many attacking players in that box as possible as Tig steps up for the ball into the box. She's going to drop it off.
It's short to Himperly. Wall's not a problem. Himperly to the back of the post, and it's out. Oh, my goodness. She hit a laser from 30 plus, and it hits the left post and goes out. Tig will give away the foul to slow it down. Oh, my goodness. It was destined for the back post, and it found its target, but it kicks out. Heartbreak for the Lady Lions, and now with just 2 minutes and some change left here, Lady Lions at this point might just set for overtime here, though. They might get one last chance. I know Maryville now would love to get to have all the momentum with the Lady Lions. You'd love to get to one more short break, or you'd love to end it here. Forward to Proctor. Proctor's been a problem, but it's the defensive player of the year, Himperly, that steps. Now it's to Schmoot. Schmoot's also been an issue. Schmoot, left-footed service towards the back post, towards Proctor. Couldn't quite get there. Lee now on ball. Lee, big service, blocked by Gallarelli. Gallarelli does a great job to keep it in. It'll be a throw in here. I'm very surprised Piedmont not all back here. They're still holding too high, despite the 1 minute call coming from the table. So under 1 minute left to play. Service, blocked back out. Dangerous service, dangerous shot. It's over and untouched. It will be a goal kick.
How about this for the last 5 minutes of play in regulation? Couple heart-wrenching misses for both sides. And Piedmont looking to turn the tides early. I'm sure there's no more than 20 seconds left to play. Dornan probably planning on just playing it short, pushing themselves to overtime.
No, she'll play it long, and this might, I was with you, Simon. I think short was the play. Gives it to Schmoot. Judge might just give away the foul. Never mind, doesn't even need to. 10 count coming from the table. 7, 6. We will not see a goal in regulation. We're headed to overtime here. Wouldn't have it any other way. 0-0 at the Walker Athletic Complex. We're taking a short break, and when we come back, overtime in the CCS Championship. Don't go anywhere. Back here on the broadcast, Davis Barlow, Simon Johnstone here. You saw the Maryville fans. I believe that's the Maryville men's soccer team that made the journey down here to watch waving. They said they had some friends watching, wanted us to say hello for them. Always great to have so many people enjoying these broadcasts, supporting their teams, even when you can't get all the way down here. But, Simon, overtime. We're playing both halves here, no matter what. No more golden goal. Just 10 minutes a half here. I'm not feeling too good about this. I have a funny feeling we're going to PKs.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's really just no better way for this conference championship to end. I love that we're going to extra time. It really just is a testament to know that these are the top two teams and how evenly matched up these two are against each other. Obviously, earlier in the season, Piedmont Lady Lions did win in regulation. 3-0 was the scoreline. But today, both teams have had opportunities, neither of which have been able to capitalize, but a close off a post for one of the Lady Lions, and then Proctor for the Maryville Scots had a one-on-one opportunity, just too heavy of a touch, wasn't able to score there. I will say, though, that for how contested these two players are, and these two teams are, and for how much time it took 90 minutes for them to set up some opportunities, I wouldn't doubt we go to PKs as well.
I'm feeling that. So, back for your lineups here. We'll go over them again quickly here. Dornan remains in goal. It's Gallarelli, Brown, Tig, Olson, Judge, Tagan, Himperly, King, Judson, and Ryan for Piedmont. Maryville has not quite registered their 11 yet. When they come through, we'll go there. But I'll tell you, Mar is still in goal. Hard to miss with the highlighter outfit over there, orange and neon yellow.
First thing I noticed as we speak about the starting lineup for those Lady Lions is Judge is standing up front once again. She did that in the first half and dropped back more so for the second half after dealing with a little bit of fatigue. And I believe she should be well rested enough, especially for these 20 minutes, to really put her foot down and scare that back line of the Scots.
We'll see if they can make it happen. Piedmont back line, Judson, Brown, Himperly, Tagan. Tig looking at that center defensive mid position.
Golden goal. Please remember, we will be playing the entirety of both overtime periods. Thank you.
Announcement from the table just to remind fans that you cannot rush the field. That is not golden goal. That used to be a thing, golden goal, and the benches would empty, stands would empty here. But we are playing all the way through. So as we get going, here we go. Piedmont, this is a drawn-out play here. Wanted to get forward quickly, and it will not quite work. Proctor, though, able to settle it. Once Maryville sends through their complete lineup, again, we'll cover it here, but I can tell you this is Schmoot in front of us. It's a great challenge from Ryan, and it's clean. Tagan able to continue with this one. Big boot forward, but no green jersey ahead. For Maryville quickly, Chase, Lindsay, Martin, Lee, Cart, Smith, Muldoon, O'Brien, Schmoot, and Bruno. Mar, of course, in goal.
Both
That's
teams
Chase
trying to establish themselves early here at the beginning of extra time. King had an opportunity for a through ball, plays it deep. Seemed to be a disconnect between King and Judge, as it looked like Judge had a wide open one-on-one opportunity just not to be. King played it in the air. Scots are going to counter here as they dribble it more towards the center, trying to switch the attack. Touched off and blocked by Ryan. Keeping possession are the Scots. Another touch by Ryan. She has been involved a lot and early here for the Lady Lions in extra time.
Waiting to see what occurs here. Lee's just taking her time in the mid, and she's waiting on help. There's the help. Katie Brown able to step, and Judson will clear long. Wanted to connect with Judge, but instead it's all the way to the back. It's Martin. Back to Mar. King almost got there, but can't quite do it. Olson, great settle on the first touch. Olson wanted to split two. Olson trying to stay on that one, and it's long cleared out, headed away, and Piedmont will take the throw in here. It looks like a 3-3-4 for Maryville.
It's a curious lineup. They seem to want to press forward. The one thing I noticed so far is they're taking their time, especially generating offense. Initially, they wanted to just shove in the back is going to be called for sure. As I believe, is that Olson?
Yeah, there was Olson that went down there.
Olson hits the deck. She herself had been called for a couple fouls, but that was brutal. Weight square in the back, and as we mentioned earlier, this ref's whistle has been busy all day. A lot of foul calls, but this time in favor of the Lady Lions as Judge steps back, it looks like, to put a ball into play. As she does, low ball skipper Mar's going to let that go past, and it's going to be a goal kick for the Scots. Nothing happening off of that foul kick.
Miss hit there by Judge. Normally such quality out of those situations, but that one never had a chance to find a green jersey nor the net. So Mar will take the goal kick here. 2.5 minutes played here in extra time. In the 93rd minute, again, minute 100, and then we'll take a 5-minute break, and then we're back for the last half of extra time, and then if needed, we're going to PK. Schmoot let that one cross over the touchline, as it will be a throw-in. Himperly needs to turn around here because the ball was in play. Never mind, they're going to allow Himperly time to tap this one out to the side.
The Lions in their home crowd are definitely getting loud here in extra time. You can see the Thunderclappers going all out on the substitution and bench for the Lady Lions in those blue pennies. And Lady Lion fans have come in troves filling up the stands. Strong throw by King, looking to find Judge, and it's just going to be off the head of a Scott, looking to shift the momentum. And back are the Lady Lions, putting another ball forward.
Oh, Judge never even saw it. It was taken from the back line. Judge never even saw that ball, looked up and found it. Now a substitute. Just really 3 minutes in. It'll be for Judge here. I mean, you have to think this is playing for the second half. It's Gabby Hayes, who has not seen any action in this contest, so completely fresh legs.
Might just be what the doctor ordered for the struggles so far in the offensive third for the Lady Lions. They're going to drop the ball back once again. Ball played into the middle. Low zipper, not to find the feet of Olsen's going to skip right through that entire box. And the Scots are content with letting that one roll out and give Mar, once again, another goal kick. But I will say, the Piedmont Lady Lions have done a fantastic job of keeping this pressure up. They know that they only have 10 minutes per half, and they're trying to utilize that in keeping that ball on side in their offensive third as much as possible.
This one towards a host of gray jerseys, but will be taken away by a green one. Now back to Katie Brown. It goes forward. That sneaks over the back. Gabby Hayes is on the end of this run. Hayes with fresh legs trying to get there, but just doesn't quite have the pace. It will be a corner, though, for Piedmont here. King will jog over to take it, and look at the green jerseys come forward here with Maryville holding no one high. I mean, you can really move almost everyone forward.
Absolutely. I'm a little shocked.
Oh, Tig's short here. Maryville doesn't see her. They will wait. Look at McCormick down there making sure that one does not get played short.
Hemperly also making her way in as King's going to step off of that corner kick.
Wow.
Which
they'll move King back as well. King's being man-marked, which is also strange. Tig's service in, snuck over Ryan, touched by Judge, cleared now by Maryville, but that's why you put Himperly back here. No chance she pulls this from about 45. Katie Himperly almost off the back of the net. No business pulling that shot, and yet it's almost in again.
And if you were here for that end of the second half, she ripped a shot from about 30 out, just missing the goal, hits off the back post. Heart-wrenching for both the defense of Maryville and the offense of Piedmont, as they thought that would have been the game winner. Unfortunately, we find ourselves in overtime here. Mar putting the ball back into play, finding multiple heads here. King on a 50-50 against a Scott. Going to swing it out wide to Olsen. Olsen jousting now. Ooh. Olsen's going to keep possession. Great couple of moves here to hold on to that ball. Looking out wide to Gallarelli.
It's down to Gallarelli.
She's going off to a 50-50, and that ball is going to be played out by a Scott. Piedmont once again keeping the pressure on Maryville.
Good pace there from Taylor Martin to get out to that one. Gallarelli, not the fastest player, but definitely has some pace behind her. As King will call Olsen off here and get ready to throw this one in. She has Tegan unmarked back here. I wouldn't be surprised if they go to Tegan here. This is a good chance to just drop it in and serve it. I say watch short, but the throw is long here. Headed straight up. Gallarelli, first little chip, but it won't come to anything. Tegan now going to have to backtrack here. Has Himperly to her right, and that's where she'll go. Himperly just inside the midfield line. Oh, Himperly around one. Himperly wants to play it in towards Hayes. It actually got close, and it will be back to Mar. Mar diving on top of that one. Halfway through the first half of extra time now. Again, super short, so just minutes left here in the first half, and it's been all Piedmont.
Absolutely. Ryan getting on the head of that one. Olsen now going for a 50-50. Going to call a foul again on Olsen. It's incredible. This may be a record of most fouls called without a card as a result.
I'm very surprised she doesn't have a card.
Maybe number 5 on her.
I think it's 6.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Oh, and
King
a good
now
fight from
showing
Kaylee King.
off the
Just removes the defender from play. That was Schmoot there. Kaylee King, one of the strongest players on the field. I mean, the physicality always on display. This one towards the back line. Lee's dangerous with her back to the goal. Good step from Judson. Better step from Judson. Big collision, and it's now a scrum at mid. Settled well by Lindsay. Lindsay around Tig. Lindsay in a dangerous spot, but Himperly's in front. Lindsay's shot scattered off to the right. We'll call it a shank there.
Nevertheless, good attacking effort by Maryville, something that they have not been able to do too much so far in extra time, but a little sign of life, a little sign of hope for them as they're starting to put the pressure on. They're going to drop Lee a lot further back here, maybe looking to have her face forward as her back being turned on that back line hasn't really benefited them too much. Gallarelli, once again in a 50-50, going to lose it again. Smoot now on the attack, has no numbers, just going to play it. I believe that was an attempted shot.
I think that was a shot.
But flew errant to the right, and the attack is pretty much just, well, non-existent after that one.
Yeah, never had a chance. There was no help in the box, and that one will not work out. They'll let Katie Brown take it here, and this might be Piedmont just attempting to skate away to the first 5-minute break here. Brown, long boot forward, will sneak over everyone. It's going to make its way all the way to Gabby Hayes. Forward trying to get back. Hayes losing possession of this one, and it's knocked out off of the Scots.
Pushing the tempo are the Lady Lions. Not going to find the head of Hayes there. Scots take advantage, but there once again, ball going to be played deep. Kaylee King's on the run. Can she step in? No. Look to be shielded off by the last defender of the Scots. Not going to call a foul, it seems like, on Kaylee King.
I don't know what Mar was doing. Mar never stepped off her line until it was almost too late.
And a 50-50 with Kaylee King's head. I'm not going to lie. I don't mind the chances there for those Lions.
I don't either, but Mar, a little bit of hesitation. Defender did her best to keep King off. And now Maryville, waning moments, minute and a half or so left here. We'll hear the minute call from the table. This is dangerous. Coming forward, intended for Lee, slammed upfield by Himperly, played right back into Schmoot. Schmoot has help to her left, has lead to the center. Schmoot pulling this one, never had a chance, and Maryville now just desperate to find shooting opportunities at this point. Oh, and we are well deeper into the half than I thought because we hear the 10-second count from the table. First half of overtime completed here. Nothing's changed. We'll be back for the second one here in 5 minutes. 10 minutes left before we head to penalty kicks, and it is raining here. This is more than a drizzle. It is starting to come down here in Demorest, Georgia. So we'll see how that affects the game here. We're on turf, so the only way this game stops is for lightning, and the radar shows just one little pop-up shower over us right now. No lightning accompanying it. So we'll plan to play through it here. No one leaving, though. Everyone came prepared. Umbrellas out. Jackets out. No one wants to leave. 10 minutes left to find a winner before we head to PKs here. And Simon, it was all Piedmont for the most part. I'd say eight of the 10 minutes was Piedmont. But Maryville starts with the possession this time.
Absolutely. Yeah, like you said, Piedmont was the team that was putting all the pressure on Maryville, but Maryville did seem to find their footing towards the latter end of those 10 minutes and found themselves a few minute opportunities, Smoot notably taking a couple shots. They didn't put a lot of pressure on the defense of Piedmont, but nevertheless, still peppering that goalie as much as humanly possible is their goal at this current state. Piedmont looking to be aggressive and looking to continue their pressure as they come for a slightly different
goodness, it is coming down. Coaches are meeting right now to chat. We might see this one called. The Lady Lions bench just continues to fire up more and more the harder it rains. Wow, it is coming down here.
Here we go.
Wow.
Looking to continue.
McCormick has headed up to the table. He's going to coach from under the tent here. Now he's just headed up there to have a quick word with the stats crew here, and we are back underway. It's an attacking opportunity for Maryville. Big ball in, big shot, but it's over and wide. It will be a goal kick here, and who would have thought water falling from the sky would fire up the Lady Lions team? Anything you can do. You've played 100 minutes of soccer at this point.
Absolutely, and funny enough, that was Maryville's probably best opportunity so far we've seen in extra time. Unfortunately, just going over the bar, but as the Lady Lions kick it out, over to Teague it goes, and now out over to Gallarelli. That ball going deep, trying to get pressure on the ball.
Mar can't use her hands. This is outside. Mar going to be able to pick it up as she plays it back in to the box. Dangerous opportunity. Super quick again, since we do have a couple new faces. Dornan in goal for Piedmont. Olsen, Tighe, Paris now out there. Hemperly, King, Gallarelli, Brown, Ryan, Judson, and Tagan. And then for the Scots, Mar still in goal. Chase, Lindsay, Martin, Lee, Cart, Proctor, Smith, Muldoon, Smoot, and Bruno. Foul called against Piedmont.
A lot of foul calls have been occurring. This is the first one of the second part of our extra time. Going to be the middle of the field, not super detrimental. Scots are going to take this early, make sure that Piedmont Lady Lions aren't set up exactly. Played out to the right sideline. Now fighting the middle, back out, looking to find Lee. Lee flares it out. Ball on, pressure shot, and it is going to be saved. Very well controlled by Dornan, as that is another save for her.
Chloe Chase, the shooter there for the Scots. Never really had a chance, but a good look nonetheless. Now it's up to Olsen. Olsen out off the Scots. Throw in for Piedmont. 2 minutes of this extra half already gone by here. PK's looming, and let's be honest here, I don't think either team wants to do that.
Especially with this rain coming down, you can basically just put it in the corner, and that thing is going to skid at what seemingly 100 miles an hour, as that ball is going to increase so much with this wet turf. Gallarelli now looking to contest, going to be tipped away. Scott's now on the attack. Ooh. Another strong touch as Piedmont goes for another counter. Paris now on the ball on the left sideline.
This is to Judson. Down the left wing. Wants to find Hayes. It's Hayes. Still on ball. Not quite. Listed, and that's a rough, I believe, incidental. They will just rule it a Piedmont throw-in here. Apologies for the live stats. Wrong live stat.
Strong read by the Scots. They're going to take advantage. Blocked off Gallarelli here. Scots are going to counter Lee. Back turn once again on the back line. Going to be pushed off again. Lee still retains possession. Flared out to the right sideline now. Judson gets it off the leg of that Scot, and it is now back in possession of the Piedmont Lady Lions. Flared out to Paris. She goes for a flick header. Beats one, unfortunately. Bruno's there and clears that one out. Paris nearly had a fantastic opportunity, just a little too much sauce on that header.
And as soon as it was pouring, it's completely stopped here. Again, it was just one random cloud right over top of us, but it gave some energy to both teams. Play on for the Scots here as Paris was going to be whistled for the trip, continuing to move forward. Scots, left wing. Taken out to challenge, just goes right by. Does O'Brien. Katie O'Brien still on ball. Big service in, but Dornan will win the race out there. That's a great defensive effort there from her.
Great job jumping off of her line, taking advantage and making sure that she is the first one on that, being able to use her hands. Scots, though, quite a dynamic shift from their play from the first half, as they are the ones trying to put the pressure on early. Once again, takes away the ball. No call is going to be made. Scots steal away the ball. 1-2 from Lee is going to be kept out to the right sideline.
It was a play on for the Scots there, as they were actually going to get tied on the foul, but instead it's played out to the side. Smith going to jog forward to take the throw in here. Awkward look for Piedmont, struggling to gain control of this one. Ryan plays it straight up. Now cleared out by Hemperly, and it's long all the way back out as the drizzle begins yet again. Scots, opportunity into the offensive third. Out wide one more time. Left-footed service. Won't get through Hemperly. Right back to where it came from. Wouldn't be surprised if this gets served again, but it's a heavy touch. Tegan now battling for it. Tegan still fighting for it. Had it on her head at one point. Still fighting for this one. And blocks the service again, but we're not done in that corner. Final service chipped in. Proctor wants to drop it off. Can't quite get it to where it needs to go. Service blocked, and Dornan will be able to keep this one inbounds. No, she will lose the handle, and it is out over the touchline. Corner for Maryville late.
Curious how many they're going to send up here, as we have only a couple minutes left of play. Maryville setting up Bruno now, another tall player that they're going to want in the box to put pressure on the back line of the Piedmont Lady Lions. Ball served in here. It's a good ball punched out by Dornan. Is there a follow-up? Yes. Flared up in the air. Another great clear by the Lady Lions. Lee now on the ball, still in the box. Gets a great cut, puts it low. Blocked again. Strong defensive effort. And Lady Lions keep the ball in play in that right or left corner, Ball played up deep to Paris. Paris trying to control it. Won't, and that's going to fly out of bounds. But great job for the Lady Lions to scramble and shut down any offensive opportunity that the Scots put on them.
Not out of danger just yet. Big turn from Macy Lindsay. Lindsay into Lee. Lee could dump off. Left-footed shot. Never had a chance. I believe that was Cart on the shot. Two subs for Piedmont here. Abby Judge and Kaylee King. Hayes and Gallarelli will exit here. Waning moments before we go to PKs. Under 4 left. A 0-0 contest here. Not for a lack of good opportunities. Long clearance from Brown, never escapes the zone. Maryville possesses, it's to Lee. Lee can't get through. Maddie Paris now, big chance to turn. No help though, can't really find anywhere to put this and is forced to give it away. Would like to see her just hold possession there. Now Paris trying to scramble, trying to get over there, can't quite do it. Around a couple, that's Hemperly's first mistake. Down the line, left-footed service into the box, stopped by Katie Brown. Literally just pinned it under her right foot and then plays it all the way back up to Olsen. This is dangerous, but Hemperly's first there. Her clearance, a little bit awkward as well. Judge now going to put her foot through it, and that's the clearance they're looking for. Kaylee King subbed back on with good pace here. She's going to threaten to play this one towards the back line. It goes back to Marr, and they'll let King go flying past here. Smith on the back line, back forward one more time. Pressure in the mid. It's Card. Out wide. Piedmont defense giving space back to Cart. Cart wants the service. Hemperly just going to shield this one all the way to the end. That was a big shove, and it will be a goal kick for Piedmont there.
Great heads-up play by Hemperly once again, just shutting down what seemed to be another offensive attack. Now played out wide to the left side, and that's Judson. Going to be played hopefully in the eyes to Paris. Paris looking for a touch just off. And it's going to continue to be Piedmont Lady Lions possession. Lady Lions looking to press up here. The waning minutes of the second half are upon us. Paris and King both pressing up. Going to be controlled by Proctor here. Does she keep it in play? Yes.
Oh, but it's only to Judson. It's only to Judson. Back mid to Olsen. Olsen to Paris. This one had way too much run on it, though, and it will go out the back. Wet conditions. I mean, again, we're talking about the skips. That thing bounced 2 feet in the air.
Impossible to predict if you're an attacking player waiting for a through ball, because that thing accelerates like something you've never seen before. Mar now back, looking to keep the pressure up, trying to put the ball back in the offensive third. Going to find Teague. That is going to be controlled once again by Scott. Out to Lee. Lee has been down and so far in the middle, but unfortunately not generated anything. We mentioned earlier that she is the team's leading goal scorer by a significant amount, but has been extremely dormant here today so far. Lady Lions pushing it around in the backfield until a big ball is thrown up front, trying to find Paris. Will not.
Oh, this is a good contest, though. Ryan just can't quite depossess Lindsay. Lindsay finds help in the mid. 1 minute remaining here. Ryan will cut that out here. Again, apologies for the live stat issue. Currently not pushing, but we are under 60 seconds left here. This is, wow. Maryville with under 60 is making a change.
My guess is trying to take advantage of that clock and trying to push it to PKs, even though they've had strong attacking presence in this second half.
I would say you're kind of throwing your opportunity here. You're only going to get one more look now, and it's probably going to have to be clean as Tegan. Beautiful slide to force the throw in here, pushing forward. That's Card. Clock's going to stop.
Not sure why. They're going to give possession to the Lady Lions. A little confused how that occurred.
I am as well, but it won't really matter here. Clock will restart. It had to be a foul, offside, something, because it is not a throw-in. It's a free kick. So the clock will restart on the touch. Can't be too much time left here. Tegan slams it forward. Tig again does not connect with the header. Olsen will just turn. Olsen slips one, but it's a good challenge from the Scots nonetheless. Wouldn't be surprised if Piedmont just gives away a foul here. 9 count coming from the table. 7 seconds left. Buckle in, ladies and gentlemen. We're headed to PKs to decide the champion of the CCS. Short break here, and we're back with penalties. Don't go anywhere. penalty kicks here for the CCS championship. Buckle in, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a wild ride in front of us. Tactical substitution at the end of the second overtime half from Maryville. They went Katie O'Brien instead of Chloe Chase, so Katie O'Brien is eligible to take PKs. Piedmont only going to run, wow, confidence. They're only going to run 6 out there right now. Maryville has a little bit more out on the pitch, and if you look down to our right here, look at these massive students out before we get ready to set the PKs here. If our cameraman Victor Conyas wants to show you guys that to the right, I mean, that is a host of fans lined up down this line. Security, campus police, and everyone ready. In the event of a Lady Lions win, might try to keep them off the field, but I'll be honest, the effort I don't think is going to do much here. I wouldn't be surprised if the field is rushed, but we've got to get to that point first here. Dornan in goal for the Lady Lions. It'll be Marr in goal for the Scots. Davis Barlow, Simon Johnstone here. Simon, I mean, this is for everything here.
Absolutely. It's such a dramatic and honestly poetic conclusion to what a great season both of these teams have had. Lady Lions now bringing out a couple more to add to their team, maybe just for emotional support, but absolutely, I mean, it's so beautiful when it goes to penalty kicks. A lot of time it takes to get there, but when it does, it is a dramatic conclusion no matter how it ends. Of course, a lot of pressure on those goalies, but they have shown out so far in this game, both of them having a 100% save percentage. Although not many opportunities have been extremely threatening, they're both coming in with a good amount of confidence.
So here we go. The hugs at midfield completed. This the final game.
Off of the playing surface at all times upon the conclusion of this contest. Thank you for your cooperation.
Reminder from the table to stay off the playing surface again. We'll see how it goes. But here we go. Okay, maybe not quite. AR does want to talk to campus security. I don't know if there's maybe an issue down the right side. They actually, I believe, are going to position. Oh, they're going to force. Wow, they're going to force the crowd to move.
Perhaps.
Yeah, they're going to force the crowd to move further away from the keeper.
Peripheral effect or advantage that the Piedmont home crowd would have, but nevertheless, it is interesting. I don't think you're not allowed to extend all the way down to that end line, but
I mean, you definitely are, because if this is a stadium, like most regular soccer matches are played in, you're behind the keeper.
Absolutely.
So I mean, not really seeing what the overarching issue of this is, but I mean, settle for what the AR wants. So we'll go ahead and get everything switched. I think it's because they're moving the keepers to this side. Maybe don't want the fans that close to the keepers. But either way, a little bit of holdup in the action here. But again, for a lot of these seniors, this is going to be their final game here. Piedmont still clinging to a potential regional hope. Maryville lines up to take it. Dornan, absolute silence, and Gordon picks the bottom right corner. It's saved. What a start for Piedmont.
Fantastic save. Great read on Dornan's behalf, and something that I wanted to mention was, as it's rained so much, you're going to have to expect a lot of these balls to stay on the ground, as that turf is going to be skittish and a lot harder to save. But great job and great start for the Piedmont Lady Lions, as Judge is looking to continue the momentum and grab the Lady Lions their first goal in this penalty shootout.
That was Delaney Muldoon turned aside here. Now a one-on-one. Judge, the captain, versus Marr here. Judge skies it. Oh, that's a heartbreaker, as Marr will be bailed out. She chose the right direction. Would have been competitive for the save either way, but Judge not able to bury it. Still 0-0 after ones.
All square, and of course 0-0, as that's been a scoreline for us all day today.
25
Maryville.
for Maryville. Katie O'Brien, here's the tactical substitution. Left-footed. Actually, I believe this is Hannah Schmoot. Left-footed Hannah Schmoot here with Dornan. Chose the right direction, made the save, but it's still in the net.
Great read once again by Dornan, just unfortunately a little too far.
And that's where the wet ball.
Absolutely.
Where the wet ball comes in.
A little bit harder to punch out and keep out of that end line, and sneaks in for the Scots as they grab a 1-0 lead. Looks like Olsen now trying to grab themselves their first goal in this penalty shootout as she takes on Marr.
the senior from San Diego, California here. A big moment. Silence from 300 here in attendance. The run-up, the shot. Olsen saved by Moore. She chose the right direction again. Maryville now leading by 1, and their leading scorer, Sierra Lee, will now step up. These are the moments that will haunt you for the rest of your career. Failed opportunities and missed saves. And now Lee, the biggest moment of hers thus far, to put Maryville in front by 2. Run up, shot, save, but it's still in the back of the net. Dornan got another piece of it, but it's still put away, and now hope falls on the shoulders of Kaylee King, the senior from Loganville, Georgia. Announced she's coming back for another year. But still the biggest moment here. You figure this has to go in for Piedmont to have a chance. Down 2-0 here.
Absolutely, and she has such a strong foot, but I think she just needs to be smart here and place it. Look for a little bit of finesse. Find that bottom corner as she approaches here. Goes left side. She finds it. Grabs the Lady Lions their first goal and first point, in a sense, of this PK shootout. Proctor now approaching for the Scots. If you're Dunnan, you're really hoping to get a save here. It's down 2-1. It's not end all be all if she doesn't save it, but it's going to have immense pressure on her shooters. So as her ability to read, she's 3 for 3 on reads. She just has unfortunately not been able to save the last 2. Hoping to keep it 4 for 4 here and keep this one out of the net as Proctor comes in.
Proctor went the right direction, but Dornan did too. Big save from Dornan, and now Piedmont going to have a chance to get back in it here. It's 2-1, but the Lady Lions have yet to have their 4th shooter. And now Katie Brown, the 5th-year senior from Flower Mound, Texas. Had an incredible career here, and you'll hear silence once again from the 300-plus in attendance here. Right-footed Brown has an absolute boot, but it's more important to put it in the back of the net. Run up. Went left. Big boot. It gets through the keeper's hands, and that's what happens when you hit lasers.
How about that? Great power behind that shot, and now we even ourselves up to a piece. Scots trying to hold on to their lead. If they miss this, they have a chance. The Piedmont Lady Lions, have a chance to win the CCS, but if they score, all pressure is going to rely on the Lady Lions. This is the most pivotal shot.
Haley Cart, the junior midfielder from Louisville, Tennessee. Run up. Went the same direction and hit it straight at Dornan, and it's saved. And now settle yourself here, Katie Hemperly. She'll get a hug from Kaylee King on her walk-up. And the CCS Defensive Player of the Year will take her time approaching here. The 5th year, the transfer from North Texas, who's given Piedmont so many good years at the end of her career. The biggest moment of it all.
One shot between her and the CCS.
From Highland Village, Texas. We'll do the Lone Star State proud. We'll do her team proud. We'll do every fellow senior proud. Katie Hemperly. To win the CCS, Piedmont's done it. The first in history. They were told to stay off the field, and I believe they're going to try to not to. They'll let the celebration ensue. It's a dog pile on the spot. Piedmont's won it.
Heartbreak and happiness are these two teams standing next to each other. Scott's trying to console Mar. Great efforts she had. A couple saves. The scoreline being 3-2 at the end of the day. Congratulations to Piedmont Lady Lions grabbing themselves their first CCS title. Great job. And you can see how much it means to the whole college. Everyone in the stands, all the players, even if they didn't get in, means just as much as those who played every waking second.
What a showing for Piedmont. They get it done in 3-2 fashion in PKs. Katie Hemperly, the one to get it done. You can see Dornan over there celebrating with, I believe, to be a family member there, as the celebration will ensue following the handshakes. All tournament team to be announced coming up as well. There will be a short award ceremony, so if you're interested in sticking around for that, those announcements will come through prior to the completion of the contest. And now you're not going to keep them off the pitch, because the Lady Lions are coming to join the fun. The first ever CCS champions. And with their record strength of schedule and wins over important opponents, you'd have to assume that on Monday's selection show, they will be selected to attend one of the NCAA regionals. Fantastic job by them. But that's all we have for the game action ceremony coming up after this. I've been Davis Barlow, joined by Simon Johnstone. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the broadcast. Here you can see the eruption of celebration. All conference awards for the tournament going out right now. Haley Dornan from Piedmont, the keeper that kept a clean sheet all the way through the CCS tournament, announced as the player of the tournament. What an award for her, and what a stellar performance for her. 0 goals conceded. The second team keeper during the regular season is the MVP of the tournament. Also joining her from Piedmont, Alyssa Lotter, the hero of Covenant that got Piedmont to this point. She was honored as well. Maryville being honored by the desk for their partial share of the regular season trophy as well as their run here in the tournament. Anya Olson for Piedmont also awarded CCS all-team tournament honors there for Piedmont. Fantastic job by her. From Maryville, Sydney Marr and Annabelle Proctor, those two problem causers there for the Scots, awarded CCS all tournament. As you can see, the seniors for Piedmont just got presented the trophy. They'll run it back on over to the team and let the celebration ensue.
Fans, thank you for attending today's championship match, and congratulations.
Fantastic for the Lady Lions.
Travel home safely.
For all CCS updates, be sure to head to the website for scores, standing stats, features on everything regarding the Collegiate Conference of the South. You can visit the official CCS website at collegiateconferenceofthesouth.com. You'll be able to read all of the conference awards, tournament award winners on that website. But that's all we have here. The party will continue once we turn this stream off for the Lady Lions. But again, thank you so much for joining us here on behalf of the Department of Athletics here at Piedmont University. We thank you all for a fantastic 2022 season, and we'll see you for the rest of the year, and then back here in 2023 for more Lions soccer.